do this. We do this. Okay, now Mart, if you can do me the favors, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on lo-fi in the background, some Lord of the Rings lo-fi, because like that's just awesomeness.
Right.
It's Pornhub. That's how we start
Well,
the stream.
that would be unfortunate now, wouldn't it?
I would delete my channel. I would rather that than actual kids any of that. One time I streamed that. I deleted the bot. We'll talk about that different
on your Twitch stream.
What's up? There was no children, by the way. Jesus Christ, this is such a way to start a stream. Oh my God. Anyways, well,
I turned on your
let's
Twitch stream
talk
already.
let's talk about. Anyways,
Yeah.
what are we talking about right now? You guys ever tried streaming before and then you forget?
The music is too loud, someone says.
Nice.
Also, Soldier said, "There's no children?" ? Exclamation point.
Yes. So, anyways, I one time left my stream going, and that stream
All right,
had
relax, Stroke.
things. Those things were legal things because I'm an adult, but still things I shouldn't be on Twitter. So, anyways, it was very embarrassing. It was on for like 5 seconds, and then people were calling me on Discord, but like, "You're still away. It's still streaming. It's still streaming. It's still streaming." And I was like, "Oh God!" They're like, "Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "I'm a grown man." Anyways,
happens to the best of us, I guess.
no, it shouldn't. Like, I need. To do better, and
Trust
I've
me,
done
it
better,
shouldn't.
still.
But I had a blunder like that yesterday.
Oh
So
God. Oh.
it happens.
Oh, so you, okay. Anyways, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the stream. We're going to have a great day today. I hope you all are having a great day today. Zippy132000. Ahoy. Nobody. Ahoy. Soldier. Ahoy. Crumb. Ahoy. Mart. Hello. Hamster. Hello. I hope you all are doing very well. Now, typically, we have all these follower notifications and all of this other stuff, so I need to go ahead and like actually get that up and load it up in the background, because right now I don't have I reset my OS. And so anyways, Zippy, thank you for the follow. And so what I'm trying to say is, like, if I miss something, I apologize. I missed it. I don't have anything set up. For example, Nano, I didn't even notice that you followed me 5 minutes ago. Thank you very much, Nano. And so if I miss something, please remind me. If you guys see something, please, call somebody else out and help them out. How's it going, Scorch? And what are we going to go ahead and do today? Well, one, I'm going to go get some water. Mart is going to go ahead and sing you a song while I'm getting you water. It's contractually obligated. Read your contract, nerd. But beyond that, we are going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you guys. This image is not exactly final, okay? But we're going to go ahead and go over this. What does it mean for Season 4? Okay, that's Part 1. Part 2 is going to be, okay, so you talked about what is this High King of Gondor and Arnor. That's 2 different factions. You said that you can only become king of one faction. Does this mean you become king of multiple factions? We'll talk about that, okay? And the third thing is completely unrelated, but is still awesome. Because I got something working, and we tested it out. And it's beautiful, and it's unrelated to Lord of the Rings. It is called the Stargate, and it is a world of wonder. So anyways, we are going to go ahead and start on 1. So, as we go ahead and gaze upon here, and I go ahead and look upon water, if you guys go ahead and see any of the labels, I don't know if the quality is that great, please let me know if it needs to be better, or if anything is too loud, or if I'm too loud, or if something's too quiet. But we can go take a look, and we will immediately go ahead and just start answering questions. Now, everywhere you guys tell me to zoom in, there should be something new, except for most of Harad in its current form is exactly the same. Okay, music is going down. Okay, that should be better. You were a bit too quiet. Okay, let me go turn me up. Hold on, desktop audio. Microphone, okay. Let's go try this, hold on. No, we don't want that, we want... Hello. Okay. I should be actually a lot louder. If I yell, I do apologize. I'm trying.
If he yells, cover your ears.
Yeah, no. Try to be quicker. Try to be quicker than the action that's already happened. Time travel, if you can.
Exactly.
So
See, he gets it.
yeah. Are we better now? We should hopefully sound better. I should be louder. The music should be louder. I hear Gandalf. I hope I hear Gandalf. Or I now have a Gandalf voice in my head, which is exciting, yet gonna be debilitating. Alright, so yeah, take a look at the map. Let me know where you want to zoom in or if you have questions. And then of the 3 things I talked about, the third thing is the only one I will not talk about right now. We'll do it at the end. But it will be 1 and 2. What's new with the map? What's new with, okay, how do I win the War of the Ring? Because like now we'll be able to answer that. Like if you go ahead and give me your race and your realm and your faction, or like for season 4, hey, I want to play as Galadriel. I'm gonna go ahead and do an insurrection with Lothlorien. Tell me, how do I win season 4? From day 0 to day whatever, how do I win season 4? Okay.
I know nothing about Lord of the Rings. What factions are going to be in the Darklands? Good question. We'll wait for Slayer to tell us because I have no idea. And don't worry, Sippy. I barely know anything about Lord of the Rings other than I like the movies. So.
Okay. How's it going, everyone? How's it going, Serge?
Hello, Surge.
Serge. The question right above you says, what factions are going to be in the Darklands? Serge, you can, if you have any idea, you can go ahead and talk about what ideas you have. I know of 3. And I can talk about those 3. So the last movie I watched was when I was 9. It was the day my hamster died. That's intense, brother. You should definitely watch other movies. And also, it's gonna sound paradoxical. Get another hamster. You sound like you love something and you lost something, but it doesn't mean you lost the ability to love. You should go put more of that out in the world. Go get another hamster. Go watch another Lord of the Rings movie, especially the new ones, not The Hobbit. Anyways, what's going to go on in the Darklands? I love our random philosophicalness that's so tied to.
Yeah, I was about to say philosophy with Slayer. Everyone. I thought this was a server stream.
I thought this was Minecraft. So, anyways, I'm being sincere though. Like that's what you should do. If you have love in your heart, go ahead and give it out. So, not freely, delicately, purposefully. But
yeah, give it out with a cost.
No, not with a cost, but like understand. Understand the weight of it, right? You don't be careless with other people's hearts. Do not put up with people who are careless with yours. Like, if we're gonna treat something with a delicacy, then you gotta treat other people with delicacy, right? Is delicacy the right word? I feel like that's with food, and you definitely shouldn't treat people as food. Okay, so anyways, hi, Lord of the Rings. So, we have some of the biomes kind of laid out. I've been working on the Sunlands. This is the Sunlands. This is the Darklands. What are these 2 worlds? These were on like 3 pictures and like 4 sentences from Tolkien. They have wildly different shapes depending on where you go look. But the pictures that they have are rather boring, and other mods already have these 2. Like Humil made this with LOTR extended. But in my personal opinion, he copy and pasted a lot and didn't do a lot down here. Now, its current state, I have not done much, but it kind of looks like this with a lot less detail. That's fine because he was trying to be authentic. We are not authentic, okay? We have clearly gone off the rails, okay? Autumno is the Army of the Dead from Game of Thrones, okay? We have lost the plot, and I'm okay with that because it's our thing. We've been doing this for a while now. And so for the Sunlands and the Darklands, we are still going to fit in Lord of the Rings. We are not going to go ahead and universe hop, right? Not going to see Jedi down here. Not going to see House Stark down here, okay? We are going to stay true to the lore that we have, but we will still expand where we can. Okay, so for example, there are going to be yellow dwarves down here, which means, oh, another family of dwarves. Yes, because we are going to get to the point where we're going to have 7 families of Durin and 7 families of not Durin. That is going to be its own interesting thing. Okay, now, other factions, one of these biomes down here, the Vale of Mithnor, is more of a swampy biome, a very large swampy biome. But like, we're gonna try to make it interesting with different trees that you've seen, or have not seen rather. And in there will be tribal swamp orcs. Okay. So, oh, here we go. Ooh, okay. So the Darklands so far, we're gonna have dwarves in the Yellow Mountains and orcs in Khudor. Khudor is over here. Okay, yeah, we can have them in Khudor. I don't care where we put them. They have more of a swamp look to them, but we can put them over here. I don't know where we plan in Khudor, so maybe in your mind they match better. That's totally fine. The Dark Elves are not going here. The Dark Elves were moved over here. We have, if you remember, we talked about the other elves down here. Okay, Serge, you and I, we gotta sit down. Yes. Oh yeah, down here. Yes, it is. Okay, so anyways, we have a few ideas, but we're not gonna throw everything down here as well. So for example, there are things that like, hey, we're not gonna throw every faction down here. There's an argument to be made that certain factions shouldn't be down here, but like, there's a reason why we've added these continents, and these reasons will vary. I will go over them real quick. So, most people have only ever really seen like this. I can't even zoom in anymore. They've only seen like this in Lord of the Rings. Okay, for some people who played the mod, they've seen a very different version of this. For a lot of you, you've seen a version of this, and if you the more you look, the more you realize, if I click L, this is not what my map looks like. No, it does not. The map has been changed. The game has been changed. I've made a lot of these map changes, especially with the waypoints, to help with War of the Ring changes. So, some people who choose to go ahead and start in the Sunlands, and some people who go ahead and choose to start in the Darklands, and some people who choose to start in Middle-earth, when you go ahead and do the actual war itself, you are not going to be able to cross that ocean for a while. Like, to go ahead and get the fleet ability to, let's say, sail from whatever waypoint we put here to, like, right here, that ability is going to take you a while to get, okay? And so, for the people who want to start in a different continent, they might be like, dude, I have played everything Lord of the Rings, I know everything about the lore, I want to dive off the deep end and do something I've never done before, right? But then also we have people in the stream who are like, I've seen the movies and that's it. Right? You are still going to have fun over here. This is the story. This is where Frodo starts. He starts off in Hobbiton, a town full of hobbits in the center of the Shire, overlooked by the Hill of Bag End. Hill of Bag End, Bag Ends. He goes ahead, marches all the way down here, destroys the ring down here, right? You're going to start off over here, right? Very, very simple. This map is designed to catch everyone. Okay. Hopefully the pack won't make my PC blue screen this update Slayer. I have absolutely no promises on that. I build big, and that comes at the cost of a lot of things. No, but like Nano, we will definitely.
Your PC is one of those things.
Yes. No, we will. We will test. We will definitely test. That's why like these updates take a lot longer now to talk to you guys about, because like there's hopefully no more crashes. Like today was all crashes. It was all crashes today because the banners, it would not put the banners in the banner bearer's left hand, and I was losing my mind. Like, I was like, it has worked for years. What, dear Christ, has happened today that banners have suddenly stopped working, right? That's like you trying to open your front door and your door just falls backwards. Like, the fuck? Like, what do you mean, door? Door, what are you doing? Door, come on. Door, please be a door, right? Stop being a floor. You're on the floor. So anyways, that's what today was.
When I talk to my door.
Yeah, dude, I have a personal vendetta against doors. It's like, what are you, a wall or a hole in the wall? Choose. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, I conceptually don't understand doors. So, I mean, I get why they're there. I get their necessity, but like, exist or don't exist, what are you? Schrodinger's hole? Like, what is this? So... Shut up. I was wondering if somebody was going to tell me to shut the hell up. So... Anyways, now what is, like, for the Darklands, again, it's for people who are diving off the deep end, who are like, I want to go ahead and fight with the pros who are not going to do Middle Earth stuff, right? But, like, that could be its own thing, where, like, what if somebody comes down here and nobody fights them? What if they become the Lord of the Darklands and they own all the waypoints that we put down here? That's going to make them very powerful for coming across the waters, right? And coming across the waters might take, like, 5 days. Enough time for you to, like, really start moving if you somehow get wind of them coming across. Okay? Now, Valinor is not actually going to go ahead and be in this map. One of the issues that we currently have right now is that the map starts in the Shire and kind of, like, moves to the right and down. So, like, anything to the left, technically speaking, can't exist. But what we're going to go ahead and do is make Valinor its own dimension. Okay, this is actually kind of a good thing. Yes, it sucks it won't be in the same world, but when we try to put this into the war, it only works in one way, and that one way does not work with the rest of the way. And what the hell am I talking about? So I'm going to go ahead and peel behind the curtain. Everything I'm talking about is post-Season 4 stuff. Yeah, so Surge, yes. The answer is, like, too many biomes and too many factions? Technically, no. But, like, let's put it this way. Valinor is massive. Okay. Like, Mark, do you see this giant continent that I've put?
Yeah. Okay, question.
Yes.
Because my friends forced me to watch House of the Dragons, and this kind of looks like one of the fucking continents on that map. Is that what it's supposed to be?
There's no way, and no, it doesn't. And no, it's not.
Okay. I'm just asking.
This is where Frodo goes. This is where...
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. I saw it, and I was like... I don't know why my brain made that connection.
No, that's fine. First of all, it's totally fine. Hey man, Odysseus and the Odyssey, one of the greatest books ever, well, I guess epics by Homer, they call the water wine-colored. Do you think that the Greeks have purple fucking water? No. It's because at the time, purple
maybe he was colorblind.
Well, no. Well, that was one theory. But back in that day, that word that they used for purple, well, like that specific word for purple, not just purple as a concept, but the word that he used was essentially dark blue, navy blue, light purple, indigo, purple, violet, magenta, like all these wine-colored purple. I don't know the word. I don't speak Greek. But, like, anyways, the idea is that, like, they didn't have two words, one for purple, one for blue. Blue was purple, right? And so you took what you knew and you applied it to what you're saying. It's what we all do. You were just brave enough to say it out loud. And because you said it out loud, we get to go ahead and tell you something. You are stupid. High five.
Yeah. Listen, that I won't deny.
See, that was almost wholesome. Almost. And then I just hit you in the gut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then
we're not allowed to have that in these streams, are we?
Makes the fool out of me.
Yeah, we're not allowed to have nice streams.
He's puppeting me around like the court jester guys. You got to bully Slayer for me.
Oscar and Epic. So, welcome to the stream. Please ask questions, guys. Okay? So if you guys see any questions or ask questions, just ask, please. So conceptually, I will, until you interrupt me with a question, I will continue talking about what is Valinor, why are we moving it, where is it going, right? Valinor, where are you going? So technically speaking,
Valinor ever there?
Yes. So Valinor, we were trying to come up with like how do you go ahead and get to Valinor, and a lot of them break the game, and it's not fun. And technically, in the lore, Valinor is a floating continent. Yes, it makes no sense. You go talk to Tolkien about it, okay? You can't, so leave me alone. Just leave me alone about it, okay? So what we're gonna go ahead and do is make it its own dimension. Why are we doing that? So Autumno currently is our big bad, right? And one of the issues that we kind of saw during Season 3 was with our Autumno sieges, we have to go ahead and make that NPC, that all the Autumno AI attacks, we have to go make that a specific faction. Gondor, Isengard, Hobbits, whoever's there, right? But that doesn't work if the thing is Gondor and you are Mordor, because it will start attacking you. It doesn't care. That's like, imagine you're playing Call of Duty or the Halo, and you're playing the Capture the Flag, and just because you're defending the flag comes behind you and assassinates you. That's what's happening. That's not good. People don't like that. That comes out of nowhere. You can't fight a flag, okay? What are you gonna do? Like, tell me how you're gonna fight it. You're gonna pin it? Is it gonna tap? It doesn't have arms. Okay. So anyways, we had to go fix that, and the way that we did
Will
that
there
was
be
with, what's up?
hobbits, brah?
We just have like the most detailed, like the only 256 by 256 texture is
Oh
the
my
top
God.
of every Hobbit's foot.
Yeah, we caused people's computers to
Yeah, exactly,
crash if
exactly.
you see a hobbit.
Yeah, why did
because it's
the
hyper-realistic.
Shire? The Shire is 200% more laggy. That's like 3 times as laggy. So yeah, the Hobbit feet, buddy. So anyways, no, we're not doing that. But Valinor is going to go ahead and be moved, and Valinor is going to be the anti-Autumno faction. And the cool thing about us being able to move to its own dimension is it doesn't just become like, we were going to originally do like 3 different family of elves that are over there. But like, if we go ahead and move it over to its own dimension, and you get to go to the Valinor dimension, we can have faction alignment with every single major Valar. I don't know if we're going to do a Pantheon of the Gods-esque kind of like, Roman, somebody has to go murder each other. But like, that could be its own thing. We shall see. But the cool thing about being its own dimension is the reason why it gets to be its own dimension is because there is a mirror dimension. Many of you have noticed that you cannot go to Autumno. Autumno kind of breaks.
I can.
So we have a new dimension, and this new dimension is going to be the opposite of Valinor. And so what we're pseudo-replacing is the Nether and the End, but in our own way. And we're not doing the End, we're doing the Ether. If you guys are old school Minecraft nerds, okay? Before there was the End, there was the Ether. Anyways, that's what we're going to go ahead and do with Valinor. And what is the pull for Valinor? Why the hell would I choose to live in Valinor? If you choose to live in Valinor, your enemy is Autumno. You can go to 2 dimensions. You can go to Valinor, or you can go to the Autumno dimension. You are like, hey, I love the server. I love vibing. I love being part of the community. I do not want to be in the war. Slayer, we lost Season 2 of Autumno. We lost Season 3 of Autumno. I am going to make sure we win Season 4 of Autumno. And so that's the pull for those players. So the idea is, whether you are a new player to the Lords of the Rings, you start off over here. Whether you're an experienced pro player who has said, I want to go ahead and go to far off places like the Sunlands and the Darklands. Whether you are the PvE player who is like, hey, I just want to join or fight against Autumno, you can come here and build in peace. It will have its own cool biomes. We shall maybe expand on the whole Pantheon of the Gods thing, but that is a thing for its different conversation. That is putting the cart in front of the horse. And so, question we got is what's going to be in the Sunlands. Sunlands currently has 4 biomes. We got deserts. Don't teleport there.
Yay.
Any questions?
Nope.
Any comments, questions, or concerns, boys?
No.
Nice.
So far.
So, this is my proof of concept for the Sunlands. I don't know if I'm really set on the color. I've actually not come to the desert. I've actually only seen... Are when you getting new resources and the new lands? Absolutely. So trees are in. So new bricks are in. So for any of you are familiar, you might be familiar with like... I choose this faction because I want to show you the difference. But like, this was Sego, which are the Mongols of the East, okay? This is just one of the old bricks in Darkened and Gimp, okay? This is their new brick. It's its own thing. It's got its own custom texture. Everything, like, you got a lot of you guys have seen this in various updates, but this is the update where it's all coming together, okay? And so
I think I used those.
Some of these might already be in, depending on their texture. But like what I've gone through, especially with this update, is the crafting recipes, and so like these ores. Okay, so like watch an example of an ore. Okay. Yeah, the other desert was way too yellow. We will see what becomes of that version of the desert, but we shall we don't know. Okay, so anyways, so here's an example. Right, so Eregion is a faction. Eregion has all of these bricks that you cannot see. These bricks, formerly, you could only get in creative, okay? Why did I add these bricks? These are for players and server owners who go use World Edit and don't, like, Carpenter's blocks is a mod that some of us who like creating, like, really, really in-depth builds, like to use, okay? Because you can go ahead and make really unique looking blocks, half slabs, triangles, whatever, right? But you can't world edit that. And so what I did was made all of these their own unique IDs, so you can go world edit these, okay? And so there was no way to go ahead and craft them until now. So when you go ahead, some of these, is this, you know what's embarrassing is when it doesn't work. Seriously?
You travel so far and Gandalf still finds you.
Yeah, he'll always find me. Okay, so here's an example. This is the border carving template. If you go ahead and see, you take 8 stone. It says stone 1 because 1 is the ID. It's not a new type of stone. Okay, if you look at lapis lazuli dust, you'll see 6020. I'm just not trying to confuse you. What is lapis lazuli? That dust, okay?
Right.
You click on that. It's when you go ahead and throw. What? Okay, well, that's awesome. That's the best bug I've ever goddamn seen. Okay. So when you go ahead and throw 1 coca beans into a millstone, 6 lapis dust comes out. Okay?
That is
please clip that.
actual.
Yeah. Please clip that and, like, someone 5150 my ass so I don't have to fix this bug. Use that as evidence, please, for the love of God. Take me out. just take me out. So!
Now everyone knows.
Good Debs, he says, bro.
So, let's go. What other ores we got? Okay, Mandarite. Okay, Mandarite. 5150 is in voluntary hold for 72 hours at a psychiatric facility. Okay, it is what you call, as a pejorative, the wacko bin, the loony hut, the crazy cabal. Yeah, don't
Slayer's
call it
house.
that. Yeah, Slayer's house. Hey, fuck you, guy. That was awesome. That was awesome. 10 out of 10. You're grounded, but 10 out of 10.
You're grounded.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So, Mandarite. Where do you find Mandarite? I'm not going to tell you, but guess who's going to tell you? When you talk to NPCs and you have a high enough alignment, there's a chance that they will tell you, hey, have you ever found a green-looking ore called Mandarite? I found it once when I was in the Gondor Hills.
You did?
Maybe. And so, you go take this ore, you go put it in the
Yeah,
millstone,
Slayer would never
you
lie
go
about
get this
that.
dust. This dust sometimes is used in these carving templates. So we saw this border mold down here. Border is all these types. Avari, so if I go, let's see if this works. If I go click on this, it doesn't work. That's awesome. Oh, I know what it was when I was, okay. I disabled that recipe method. Okay, that's good. Because I know it's done, it's not calling it, and you can run without recipes. You don't need recipes for the code to work. So anyways, what you go ahead and do is you go, can you even see? Yeah, okay, so this doesn't have any crafting recipes, but you go place this in the middle of these bricks. You place 1 surrounded by 8, and you get 8 of those out. So let me go ahead and show you, what do I express this as, right? So it'd be, if we wanted a Region, okay, you go take this, you go take this, you get a Region. Is there just border? Is it Region dash border? What the hell? I can't see the thing is way too tiny. A Region doesn't have. Okay, that's embarrassing. Well, there's half a reason it ain't working. If I was border, where would I live? Right here. Okay. So, what this is supposed to kind of look like is you go ahead and do this. You throw this bad boy in there. And you get 8 out. So now you can go ahead and craft these. The other thing that we have is we will add these as traveling merchants, but masons. So if you go ahead and talk to by the way, I'm going to change this to stone masons because masons already exist. And so if I go talk to this hobbit mason, hello to your alignment, sit hobbit 1000, and I go talk to him. You can go ahead and see, for example, he trades the tiles, the ancient clay tiles. Okay, if I go talk to Avari, Mason. I can go ahead and buy the blocks as well. Okay, so, excuse me. That is how you go ahead and get those blocks. The ores, and by the way, hey, the ores that already exist in the game, like bronze, iron, topaz, those make majority of the carving templates. So you're not going to go ahead and have to find this really rare ore to go make this really obscure brick that you only get 8 of, right? Even if it's 6 out of them, you only get 48, right? That's not really that much, right? But also, you're not going to have to, like, you're not going to waste them. Okay, so they will have their own special abilities. I will give you a very big hint. They have a lot to do with whatever we're going to call alchemy and how some spells may work. Okay? Because
Can I become a wizard?
What's up?
Can I become a wizard?
Yes,
Yeah?
but different kinds of wizards. Like, yes. So anyways,
Master wizard.
So this is a new tree, for example. Desert acacia. Yes, there's already acacia wood. Acacia only spawns in the desert. What's this tree? Desert acacia. Kill me. That's what we called it. So it's kind of like when they, hey, what's your PIN number?
What?
PIN stands for personal identification number, right? So you saying
Yeah.
PIN number is you saying personal identification number. See? I forgot what that's called. But anyways, so Sunlands, this is its current desert. I know we got kind of off the weeds, but like that's one big thing I wanted to show all the builders out there. Like, yes, we've talked about that thing before, but it's mostly working. The recipes aren't, which is kind of important, but they do actually work. And so there are new ores, there are new trees. Epicness, you worked on all the plants. Obviously, you know, when you worked on the plants, there weren't these new biomes. But correct me if I'm wrong, it's not going to be entirely hard to go make new files for maybe a total of 30 new biomes, right?
Well, I made all the plants so that they progressively change as you explore the world. But since we removed a lot of biomes to fit in the Darklands for this update, there's just a lot of unused plants I'm going to be moving, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Unlike last time, it cost me my sanity. This time, it should be pretty easy.
Well, also, now that you have kind of the format and you kind of have a plan, something you should consider and think about, it's like, okay, if I'm going to go look at this preliminarily, right? You're trying to work on code. You don't want to have to go sit here and work on this. What you could do is like, okay, how do I go ahead and explain this to somebody else? If I had to teach someone, I'm gonna go sit an hour. I'm gonna go sit down for an hour and try to figure out how the hell do I explain this to someone. And if you're like, it's not feasible. It's not feasible, right? I'm not gonna force you to go work with someone. But like, if you can, the idea is how do you spread that out, right? Because like for example, I can texture, I can go work on music, I can go work on this. Well, not like actual music. I can go work on like sound effects and whatnot. But like, that's not where we need. We need me coding, okay? To the point where we need me on the server. We have too many server bugs that have like stacked up. So, anyways. What am I trying to solve for now? I've tried to prove a concept a lot of our different biomes. If you go ahead and take a look, this is the Sunland Mountains. I'm trying to find, guys, I have loaded this up. I don't know how many times. I'm trying to find, oh, it's weather. I'm trying to find the perfect blend. Because, like, guys, if you can see, okay, anyone that can see this, if you were to call this, you only get to call this one color, okay? Now that the sun's on, okay, everyone in the chat, okay, people who are in VC, I'm gonna do a 10 count before you answer, okay, because I want people who can type to try to answer as well, okay, because of latency. What color? Actually, let me go ahead and define things. Look at this rock. This is the rock. This is the sand. I don't think we have technically any gravel. I was trying to get gravel to replace, but as you can see, it didn't fucking work. So, anyways, sorry if that was really loud in the microphone. So, what color would you go ahead and call this rock? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What color would you guys call this?
Looks white to me. Maybe slightly beige.
Okay. Okay. T4 M Razor. Oh, Team Razor. Hey, how's it going? T4 M Razor.
Like,
Got him, stupid. All right, anyways. No, hey, we're ending the stream. I'm running the stream. This was a wash. Dump it. We're done. The mod's done. That was embarrassing enough. We're done. I'll see you guys never. Anyways, Sunstone. That's great because technically speaking, this is the Quenya word for Sunstone. So, spot on. So, the second question I have. Okay. By the way, dirty white is what I was going for. Does this look too much like the White Mountains of Gondor?
No, I wouldn't say so.
So I'm trying to go for a bleached bone kind of mountain range here. Okay, because these are called the Sunlands. Okay. These are going to be bleached lands. These upper and lower areas are the fertile areas. The rest is scorched, okay? And by the way, Scorch, if you're still here, this is literally called Scorch Bay. Anyways, so, oh yeah, Mark, we gotta talk about that. And Oscar, we gotta talk about that. Epicness, we gotta talk about that. You guys, when we have the Valinor biome up and going, we have to go harass staff into adding waypoints. So anyways, because that'll be for us. Gondor Rock is more texture and darker contrast. Yes, so I was trying to go for like, okay, so hopefully this looks different enough. I kind of like this biome because where it's like I don't know what I'm gonna do with the sky. I kind of like the gray sky, but like I think everything's too gray. I might touch that up to be like colors. I think I'm gonna go for that might be like look really cool. Is like. Yellow might be good, but yellow might be too much. But like I was gonna go with just, if you can try to see it, dark blue.
I'd say dark blue or yellow, both could work.
I could see both. They're complementary colors. I think that's why they would work. So
I said yellow for no reason.
I mean, it might work. It might be the thing that like okay. So if you go ahead and think about this, okay. If you go and think about this yellow in the background, this might be the thing that people subconsciously, when they're looking at the landscape, they go, oh yeah, these are yellow, not white. Right? Gondor Rock is more textured, dark in contrast. You cannot distinguish between the sand and rock here. Yeah, so that's one big thing about the saturation. So like, again, guys, I'm not the big texture guy, okay? I think this is actually gravel. Is this gravel? Look at that! Holy shit! You can see that I like, guys, watch, okay? I've seen this a lot, so I named it. I've never seen this, so I didn't name it. So anyways, that's fun. But like for the sand, let's go see if we can see any sand. I think it was more on the edge, right? It kind of looks like cheese. It does kind of look like cheese. The gravel, yeah. So like I am not beholden to this texture, but I'm just trying to find the right color. The right color that conveys the right look. The right feeling of like I am so far away from the Shire. Okay, so that's gravel. That's all gravel. That's all gravel. Where's sand? Is sand even real? Am I sand?
You are sand, yeah.
Have I always been sand? Am I coarse and I get everywhere? Is this sand and I just misnamed it? Oh god,
That's
doesn't
a way.
gravel just act exactly like sand?
Yeah.
How do you tell the difference? Oh, the sound when you walk on it. Alright, so anyways, this is the Sunlands. Now, as for the people that are out here, okay? First things first. Them being here, and if anyone has a freaking problem with this, I'll start fighting people, okay?
Yes.
A few
no
things.
problem.
One, Numenorians were here, okay?
Oh.
Numenorians came here.
Yep.
And then, after thousands of years of how evolution would work, the people that live in a very hot biome are going to have a darker skin. Most of the time this isn't an issue, but I got a really weird message. Like, it wasn't on Discord, it was on CurseForge for the mod. And it was like, why are these people this color? And I was like, because that's how the equator works. Like, that's how, let's go look at all of the countries that are around there. Let's go look at the color of their skin. So anyways, this is a fun conversation to have for Minecraft. But like, when we go ahead and add people here, I am not going to go ahead and like, it's going to sound really, really esoteric. I'm not going to go ahead and shoehorn white people in random places, okay? Like, there's a reason why if you go look at the very lesser dwarves, they have a darker complexion than the rest of the dwarves, okay? And by the way, we have Harad dwarves coming. They're going to have a darker complexion too. So anyways, the guys that are out here, okay, especially through here, what I was thinking, so if we can go ahead and get over their skin color, okay, are going to be, I was thinking, listen to this. Imagine the Romans, but they worship a sun god, and they straight up don't believe that other people exist. To the point where, like, where do the New World come from? Ooh, Egypt would be cool. They could be straight up Egypt. That'd be kind of cool. Well, we already have that with Harad, really, if we go look at the pyramids, right? But, like, Harad might already take too much of Egypt. Damn. Okay, Oscar, put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. I do like that. No, Oscar, DM me that. DM me and search that. Write that down. Write that down. Write that down. Like, I like it. So anyways,
I insert
guys,
something here also real quick.
wait, what's up?
As I said, going back to just the skin color of the NPCs, I also want to say this update, a lot of them have been updated because some of the people with darker complexions are just one color. So
yeah, dude. Yes. Somebody had to look up Google. Dude, it's because what I'm about to say. Listen to me. It's what I imagine somebody else Googled. Okay, because like what is he talking about, right? So like what because we can be able to see it. What NPC, right? Caravali, Mahaduan, Epicness. Hi.
Sorry, I can't see.
Well, like what factions did you have to fix?
The thing is that the new factions, as well as in some of the
so there's no
older
shading
ones,
here, right? That's what you're talking
there's no
about.
shading.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I like the base, but there's no shading here, and it makes them look like,
exactly.
hey, nobody gave a shit, right? And it's like, hey, by the way, to the person who made this, I know who made this. You did a great job. Okay, this is version 1. We're gonna update to version 2. I'm not trying to shit on you. Okay, you did a great job. As far as like, if you like, for those people that don't know, Mahadu. By the way, we gotta talk about pronunciations. Okay, Mahaduin. That is how you pronounce these guys. These guys live in Mahaduban, but these are Mahaduin. By the way, I have to move all these labels. But these are the Mahaduin, and then these are the Ka Ravali, not Caravali. Ka Ravali. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So there's a reason, guys. We try to be as accurate as we can. Only minorly. I know it sounds wild, like say, why you bring this up now? Only because I read a message that was like coming out of nowhere. For those of you who don't know, like when we first made the mod, like for example, Prosheville, okay, which are guys that live up here, which we've called our Russians, and a lot of people can go ahead and say that Dale's kind of already Russia, which is fair, but these are absolutely Russians, okay. They, through my own ineptitude, had Harad skins, and somebody from Russia asked me, why are the Russians N-word? And I was like, Jesus Christ, like.
Oh my
All right.
god.
First of all, you're banned. Like, second of all, thank you for reporting the bug, but not like that. Never, ever like that. Like, never, of all the ways I've ever heard a bug ever reported. Objectively, thank you, but never like that. Like, oh my god. Like, so, yeah, it was...
Oh my god.
It was wild. During stream, like it might be an old stream. You guys might want to go look up where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like it just came out of nowhere, ruined my day.
It says on the stream.
Yeah, I think it was on a stream. So, anyways, hold on. My little brother texted me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So, anyways, it's like, guys, I know it sounds weird. I'm coming from this place, but like, okay, not that I know of. Okay, so, all right, so what did we change? Guys, we changed everything. All right, so watch. Here's basic. Rohan is back to being one biome. Does that mean we removed all the subfactions? No, they will just spawn using math instead of wasting a whole biome that is the exact same biome. By definition of the word biome, they were not different biomes, okay? Yeah, there's not a lot of sun in the northern hemisphere. Yeah, no, we have different guys. So like, watch. Actually, these are out of date. These are even old because Valray worked on them. Yeah, so these have their old black robes. They have blue robes. Their whole thing is exporting. I'm not going to say what ore it is, what dye it is, but they have very blue stuff up here. Okay, so there's not a lot of sun. Yeah, okay. I really like how the new Harunor colors look. Oh, yeah, so I changed a lot of the colors you guys will notice for biomes to make them blend a lot better. So, version 1 of the map, okay, and the reason why we didn't change the map, because that means, if you guys remember the online map, it means I have to redo all of the online map. And we're all going to sit down and have a conversation called, yeah, that online map's going to look different, and I am not wasting my time on that, because guys, it literally means I will not, if I were to sit down right now and were to go take meth, listen to me, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what to do to go, like, watch, okay, what am I talking about, right? So why did we never in the past go ahead and change the map? Because any single map change that we go ahead and do means it translates to the live map. And the live map is down because I was testing stuff and I forgot to reset it. But that means I have to go ahead and redo that entire map, okay? So it's not redoing the map once, it's redoing the map twice. And the second time I do it, sucks. And I'm the only one that knows how to do it, okay? And so it means that if I go ahead and do that kind of exact same thing again, it is not going to work. Now, what am I exactly talking about? What I am exactly talking about is for that map, is when you go click on a territory, it makes the territory pixel perfect. I'm not doing that again. That was wild, okay? Listen to me very carefully. On that original map, the original map was 4,000 by 3,200 pixels. That is 12,800,000 pixels, okay? From that, the what is not the ocean pixels, if you ignore this and this and this, results to around 5.87 million pixels, less than 40%. Sorry, less than 50%. I, at one time, went through and quantified the location of 5.8 million pixels. That took 4 weeks from beginning to end, which means all of season 4 would be delayed for 4 weeks, and this is waking up at 4, going to bed at midnight kind of shit, okay? I am not doing this. We are not doing this. Yes, there's going to be a loss of quality, but it just means the map is going to change. I'm okay with that. If it's too bad, then I will cry. I will cry with you guys, and we'll move on. But, like, what this also means is, like, when I got over that fear, it means we got to go ahead and do this. Hey, Slayer, you added all these new factions. But all those new factions were factions that were just stacked on top of the existing map. But if we go ahead and look into the map, I've changed a lot of the base map. If we go ahead and take a look over here, Dorwinion has been expanded. Rudel has been vastly expanded. They now merge with the Wainriders, who are going to be a sub-faction of Rudel. Okay? Nuriag now doesn't look like absolutely desolated lands. It now also doesn't have 3 versions of a desolated biome. That doesn't make sense. It was one of the reasons why we saved a lot of biome space. The color is trying to match a little bit better. Aaron Garen, for example, now spreads out through the Logoth lands because this is a more northern kind of vibe, and now we have redwoods going through what is essentially what we've talked about, guys. Logothram, listen to me very carefully. 2 words. Medieval Canadians, which never existed, but if they did, yes, this is what Logothram are. They're still Eastlands, though. Another change is Iron Hills. Iron Hills has drastically changed. The original reason I changed it is because it looked like a giant turd on the map, and I hated it. Then I made it look like a turd that was cut up. That was some of the best commentary I got. I was like, it looks like you took the turd that was Iron Hills and you cut it up. Or you threw it in a blender. ... I don't know if that's better. And I was like, there's no fat on that comment. Anyways, so we changed it up. Now it's going to be a little expanded because the Iron Hills dwarves have kind of been reduced from everywhere else. For those that don't remember, they used to spawn in the Misty Mountains and Erebor and the Grey Mountains. They've been replaced by the Erebor dwarves, the Grey Mountain dwarves, and the Khazad-dûm dwarves. So we gave their home a little bit of love. Okay, now everything that we've done looks like we've kind of simplified it, but made it different and better. Well, we've added rivers, we've added hills, we've added different changes. For example, the Belchouth now spawn on the left near Mirkwood because they will be a sub-faction of Dol Guldur versus spawning over here. Now you'll notice this label's not moved. Yes, this is what we call an alpha. Rovanian, they no longer have their entire biome to themselves. That is because they will spawn down here in the northern or the woodland. So all of this that we can go ahead and do is through positional spawning. Like one of the really cool things, if you guys go take a look at your Woodland Realm armors, right? Especially Mart, you were a staff member at the time, right? There was Woodland Realm, like, soldier, sergeant, right? Noble, elite, right? The 5 different armor sets. Yeah, but now we have Enchanted River, Loegland, and Felaggoth sub-factions, fiefdoms. So if you want to go ahead and so now we're gonna go ahead and dive into part 2, okay? Because I feel like I'm starting to lose people and they're getting really tired, which is fine, right? So hold on. Let me go look at chats. Still looks like a turd. Yes, no. So it looks like a turd, but now it's old and gray. Guys, I don't know if I can ever make the Iron Hills not look like a giant piece of shit. Anyways. Yes. Ran over by a truck. Smeared. I like it. I like it. So more realistically sized biomes. That's also true. Well, the other thing is we're not using biomes as territory markers, right? As just arbitrary lines in the sand. You want to know the biomes that are next on the chopping block? Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the stupidest biomes that could be labels, right? Biome number 1. This pixel is 1 pixel. That is 1 out of the 5.8 million I was talking about. Out of the 12.8 million in total I was talking about. This is its whole entire biome. Okay, for size reference, this pixel right here is the same size as this entire biome. Same amount of code. Not the same size, obviously. It's drastically different in technical size. I meant in physical size. In technical size, it's the same amount of code. It makes no sense. Hey, whoever said Loegland equals Legoland, shut up. I don't... God damn, now I have to go change the name. Because, I like adding Easter eggs. Can you not find them on January 1st? God damn. So... Anyways, I'm joking. That's awesome. How many factions and sub-factions are there now? Now, we're going to go into part 2, okay? Because we can always go over the map in the future. We could sit here and do an entire stream about this, okay? You guys are going to have a hard time with the wiki for this. We've already assigned some people, but we definitely need help. And also, here's the cool thing. I start my new job soon. And I pay our developers. It is dog shit wages, let's be very clear. But I'm trying to get to a stage where I can tell you per hour what you'll be paid. Because before it's mainly commission, and I still feel that's unfair. But even if it's hey, I will pay you. If you go ahead and tell me I spent 4 hours on this, if I can throw you $40, $10 an hour, let's do it. Okay? Do you guys have new applications for new staff or faction leader staff? Oh man, okay, so staff, yes. Faction leaders, you have to go earn that. And so we're going to go dive into that. Okay. So.
Make kingdom, for sure.
Yes. So, for example, okay, so let me go ask you that. Oscar, how do you go ahead and become a king of a kingdom to the last time you played the server? Now we're jumping, guys. We're going from client to server. And also Team Razor, yes, you can join. Of course you have to earn it, yes. Do you need help with textures for all the new factions and sub-factions? Yes, as well, Recipe. Sorry, Oscar, I keep talking over you. What's up?
Well, last time I had to level up first, and then I had to capture one place, and then something like that, yeah.
Right, so there was kind of these loose milestones, right?
Yeah.
So now, what we've tried to do, okay, I want you guys to go ahead and break this into 3 tiers, okay? When are you planning on getting this done? Basically, when is the deadline? August. So solid month, 2 months, end of August. So yeah, but also I own it, so we can delay it. People, dude, this is what we call season 4. If I had $1 for every time somebody asked me when is season 4 coming out, I would have $1,000. I would have. It's not enough to retire on, but shit, I could buy you all. I could buy everyone here a nice sandwich. You know what I mean? Take us all out for lunch, right?
Sandwich.
Dude, if I had $1,000, if I could possibly, cross time and geography, if I could give you all a sandwich, that's what I'd do for $1,000. Pay for your guys' lunch. That's what I'm saying. Everyone wants a sandwich, right? You got a good sandwich, right? You're having a bad day, you get a BLT. Come on. Come on. So, currently what you have to go ahead and do, technically speaking, on the server, is you have to go ahead and complete these different milestones, right? You have to go ahead and get a seat. Well, to go ahead and get a seat, you have to go ahead and pledge to a realm, which means you have to go ahead and do some quests, okay? So you have to go do step one. Just, okay, I have to go choose who I'm fighting for, okay? So I go join the Orcarni, okay, over here, okay? Actually, that's going to be a really bad example. Let's go choose our tried and true Gondor, okay? So I go choose Lamedon. Lamedon is a realm of Gondor, okay? Here's the 3 words that we are going to go ahead and use, okay? Faction, realm, fiefdom. How are they all related? A realm is under a faction. A fiefdom is under a faction. A fiefdom does not have to exist under a realm. Okay? The way I want this to be visualized in your guys' head, okay, is level 1. You know what? Let's go choose a way wider brush. Level 1, faction. Level 2, realm. Level 3, fiefdom. Okay? Go ahead and do F for faction, tiny. R for realm, F for fiefdom, because that's confusing and tiny and hilarious. So, some can exist at this level. Okay? What's a good example of this? This, for example, in Gondor, the faction level would be literally Gondor soldiers. But Gondor soldiers is technically speaking, it's like Gondor is in and of itself a faction, right? What do I mean? If I click on L and I go to menu and I go to factions, it is in this list. A faction has to be in this list. There's one exception, and that is a thumbnail. Technically speaking, you cannot see a thumbnail, okay? Anything else underneath it is a realm. Well, what do I mean by that? Like, well, okay, if we go take a look at the map real quick, right? If we go back here, we get lost in the sauce. We go find over here. We get the Blackroot Vale. That's a realm. Peneth Galen, that's a realm. Dol Amroth, that's a realm. Lebanon, realm. Sarnak, realm. Anorian, realm. Athelian, realm. Realm is level 2, okay? But the thing about Gondor soldiers is, technically speaking, Gondor soldiers also exist as a realm. Where do they specifically exist? They specifically spawn. How did I have 1 in 3 that. You saw that? I have all the Minecrafts I had open, I zeroed that. Anyways, they spawn at Pelennor Fields, and they spawn from here down to here, okay? All through here, okay? And then they spawn all the way around Peneth Galen, besides underneath here and underneath here. I know I'm just making arbitrary markings. We will have this better defined in the wiki, but that's where the Anfilas new subrealm, or if I say subrealm, I mean realm. If I say subfaction, I also mean realm. There's only 3 terms: faction, realm, fiefdom, okay? And so all of these new guys, okay, all of these new entities, they will spawn. You'll be able to go to talk to them, okay? If you go talk to an Anfilas man, they will tell you, hey, here's how you go craft this, right? Go take a look. Anfilas. Warrior. Please don't kill me. So if you see, he looks very much like Peneth Galen. It's because of a variation on their armor. Less grandiose if you go compare it. So let's go actually do that real quick. Hopefully I didn't load in the wrong thing. But the idea is, because they're so close... Oh, okay, hopefully you see a difference. This has actual Gondor right on the thing. This is more, hey, I'm a soldier. This is more, hey, I'm a levyman. Hopefully you guys are getting that kind of vibe. I might take their cape away to really get that point across, to make them like, hey, I'm not a full knight. I'm a levy dude. Okay, but like that's what I'm trying to get at. And so, how do you go ahead and become king? You are going to have to go ahead and gain something called favor at these various waypoints. Now, currently, there's no waypoints at Anfilas. That's fine. But when we do add them, you're going to have to go there and complete quests. But what is this favor? See the cape? Yeah, the cape makes. Okay, yes, and their helmet makes them look like Galen soldiers. It's kind of. We might simplify the helmet to make it more iron shaped, or maybe just not even load them with a helmet, right? Make it a leather cap. Are there new factions, sub-factions to forward with? Yes, please remind me of that, Riksuki. We're going to focus on Gondor here to explain what's coming to the server, and then remind me about forward with, because I actually have kind of something very unique coming to them, and it's going to be kind of cool. So, when you're climbing up the ranks, if you want to go ahead and let's say you start off, okay, I want to be a Penethgalen man or woman or whomever, right? And so you go join them and you pledge to their realm because they control an entire biome. How do you know if it's a fiefdom versus a realm? A realm controls an entire biome or most of a biome. A fiefdom is centered around a waypoint, okay? Now this does not help us that I'm choosing an example of where like the label is Penethgalen, the realm is Penethgalen, the biome is Penethgalen, and the waypoint is Penethgalen. Pray tell, could we maybe name anything else? Just anything else. We cannot. Okay? But like, anyways, if you go choose to go, hey, I'm choosing, they're my people. I'm gonna go fight in their name. I'm going to try to become their ruler. How do I go do that? When you join the server, it will tell you. Like, hey, first things first, you're joining this realm, you need to go join the realm's watch or bannermen. You become a realm bannerman, right? Which means for the realm of Penethgalen, currently again, they only have one waypoint, they will have more. You have to go do quests and go earn favor for Penethgalen. The idea behind this is like, hey, all we want you to go do is put together 2 critical points of knowledge for the server, which is 1, I understand. Let's go ahead and let's go actually pivot to Dol Amroth because it'd be a better example. Dol Amroth has 3 waypoints in it: Dol Amroth, Ed Helland, and Tarnost. If it says, hey, you have to become a bannerman of Dol Amroth, you can go do these quests at any of these 3 waypoints. And so what we're trying to do is mix and match. So you go, okay, I put the map together, I put the waypoints together, I put that I have to go do quests at these waypoints, and I go see the importance of, okay, why should I go do them here versus over here versus up here versus down here? Because this is the only way I can progress to become the ruler over this area. Okay, and so the reason why we added all these sub-factions and micro-factions is because 1, it's cool for immersion, you can go there and see these guys, but 2, it's also, these are the teams that you guys will start off as. Everyone has to go choose their fiefdom and then become a realm and then get to faction. That's how you become the king. Okay, so for Gondor, if you start off as Dol Amroth has the Dol Amroth fiefdom, which will be the Swan Knights. Okay, then they have Levyman with spawn throughout the rest. Okay, that makes up the Dol Amroth realm, and then you have the Dol and Ernil fiefdom, which yes is an entire biome. Yes, it contradicts what I said earlier, but like, what does this equate to? When you go, hey, I'm not only a bannerman, I want to become a knight, and you go ahead and achieve knight, and you're like, no, I want to become the realm lord. I want all of Dol Amroth to answer to me, and I answer to the king of Gondor. Nobody else. Okay, so you go ahead, and it will tell you explicitly what you have to do to go ahead and become the realm lord of Dol Amroth. You need to go ahead and gain favor with Dol Amroth, the Swan Knights, and Dol and Ernil. And it goes and tells you, hey, because Dol Amroth is a realm, you have to go ahead and earn 100 favor with them. And then Dol and Ernil, because they're a fiefdom, you only have to go get 50. How do you go ahead and earn this favor? It's the same questing system that you've been doing, but as you get more powerful, you get more shortcuts. What do I mean by shortcuts? You will be able to go do a bribe, and there's a chance it'll fail. If you have a legion big enough, we will add an option. I will try to add some RPG to this, that literally when you click it, it'll say intimidate, okay? And depending on how big your legion is, and if your legion, like let's say you're trying to gain favor with Tarnost, okay? If your legion is at Tarnost, you will have an option, intimidate for favor, right? To gain, intimidate for 200 renown to gain 5 favor, right? 10 favor, right? To go ahead and skip doing quests, shortcuts, right? You can go ahead and do that, but it's going to go ahead and be directly proportional to how big your legion is. If you have a legion of 10 guys, you're going to fail that, and you're going to have negative favor. Okay, the quest says get 50. You can get negative 10,000. It's not good for you to do that. You will never achieve a higher milestone, but until you reach that 50, you will not become the Realm Lord. And so if you have an army of 10,000, that intimidate is definitely going to work. But if you go bribe them with 5,000 gold, that'll definitely work, right? And the thing is, I will never tell you what the percent chance is, but like I will go ahead and say, hey, you know, if the starting offer is like 20 gold, okay, if you go ahead and throw 50 gold, it's 100% going to work. You don't have to worry about chances. Like if you're that rich, it's not going to, who cares, okay? So real quick, I never noticed how empty the western half of Gondor is. Yes, it is. That's room for improvement, especially now that we've kind of simplified biomes. I'm down for western Gondor. Have you guys worked on Angmar at all? The Rudauer Hillmen are really weirdly defined. Yes, please remind me of that after Fordwaith. How do you become a king in the system? Do you have to gain favor in all your regions, stuff like that? Yes. And so, how does that equate to, okay, so like Slayer, you're talking about Gondor. Gondor's fucking massive. Yes. If you want to become the king of Gondor, how far does that go? Right, so we talked about becoming the Realm Lord. But with these shortcuts, let's go ahead and expand that. There's other shortcuts, okay? One of these shortcuts will be, what if somebody is the master, the player is the master of Tarnos, okay, and you're the master of Dol Amroth. Now you only have to get favor over here. I can just talk to my buddy. He's gonna make me the Realm Lord. Nope, you still have to get favor from him. But what you can go do is a direct, like, hey, Riksuki, let's just drill this down, right? I'm the dude at Dol Amroth, Riksuki, you're Tarnos, right? I will be able to go ahead and send you a request once every week or once every day. I don't know the scaling of this, okay? But I can go ahead and say, let's say it's a slider from like 50 to 500 renown, and then I can go ahead and let's say send you at minimum 50 renown or at most 500 renown for at minimum 1 favor, at max 25 favor, right? And so you're like, hey, how much favor do you need from Tarnos? You need 50? Okay, so I will give you 25 favor, but I want 300 renown. And you're like, and I go, hell no, I'm not doing that. Dumb deal. I'm attacking you. I'm taking you out, right? Maybe that's the impetus for me to go ahead and take you out, right? And it was just funny because I'm terrible at the game, right? So if I attack you, you'd be like, do it. I don't care. Like, you know what? I won't even log on. Have fun, and I'll still lose. So, anyways, that's how we're gonna go ahead and do this. You still have to go ahead and get this favor, but like we will add shortcuts. Like one of the cool things that we'll talk about on a different stream is like I was gonna post this, but like you're actually making it so the grind counts for everything. Yes. Like the other part of this is like these waypoints, the districts. Like I did not play Pal World, but I saw the importance of like logging in and getting stuff for free. Okay, aka you didn't have to grind for it. Yes, the grind was 10,000. But it's a lot nicer if I go ahead and log in and see I'm getting plus 500 today. Okay, I really don't have to spend 95 hours on this. I can kind of take it easy. I just have to wait 1 week and 4 days, right? So anyways, we'll talk about that in the future, okay? But that equates to like, okay, if I'm using this gold to go bribe somebody, how am I making this gold, right? Because I don't want to be grinding for this gold. We'll talk about that, right? But anyways, so how do we become king, right? So like working either alone or with other people, you will go ahead and be able to gain favor, okay? And then gaining this favor is how you go ahead and go from Realm Lord to Gondor is so big. Like going from immediately from Realm Lord to Faction Lord is so imposing. But maybe that's the step you have to do, right? To go ahead and become the king of Gondor. And for some people, by the way, Team Razor, thank you for the follow. I just saw the pop up. Thank you. But like for example, Dunland is a lot easier, right? Like Dunland only has Dunland. Well, it has Dunland, Enidwaith, Aaronvorn, Dunharrow, and Adornland. So it has a few more, but also we might split this up. These might just become the evil men of Eriador. We're not sure yet. But anyways, smaller factions have smaller requirements. So people who are like, dude, I am not the social type. I am not becoming the king of Gondor. That's too much work. You can go ahead and sit over here with Dol Amroth or Dol Guldur. Like, okay, I will control these three. That's how I become the Realm Lord. And how to become the Faction Lord? Okay, so I have to go control Mirkwood. Mirkwood's pretty easy, and then also Balchoth down here, right? And so you go ahead and gain this favor. You have to go ahead and do it at more waypoints, but hopefully what starts to happen is the higher rank you become, how do I describe this? The easier it becomes. You know what? Let's go ahead and dive into this so this makes full sense, okay? So like Oscar, Mart epicness for the server stuff. Of all the items, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw out some shields, shield coins, Primaforge stuff, banners, district upgrade tools. What was the most annoying thing to grind for? You hated it. Straight up hated it.
Personally,
I
all
haven't-
of them because I didn't understand them.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
District tools.
District tools. So first things first with the districts, district tools are gone. Okay.
Yeah,
So
they're gone
what is
now,
going to
but
happen
it
with
was.
this? Sorry, what were you saying, Oscar?
It was at least annoying to get when
Yes.
it was there.
Yes. So they will be gone. Good news. So okay, hold on. How will the Hobbits work? Will they have no abilities? So what we're gonna go ahead and try to do is the idea for all of these factions across the board is we will have to fit in. Okay, what is an emperor? An emperor is a faction lord, right? What is a chieftain? Chieftain, that's a fiefdom lord, right? What is a noble? Noble, okay, that's like a realm lord, right? And so all these different, like Thane of the Shire, that's their realm lord, right? A Thane of Rohan might be a fiefdom, right? And so you will have to go figure out, and we will explicitly say
Thane.
that, right? It'll say Thane, Thane, comma, the fiefdom lord of blah blah blah, right? So you get that title, but you know what it is, right? So that's a good point to make out. But yes, everyone will have their own ability system. I'm down to like kind of go deep with it, but like we cannot sit here and make 12 ranks. You know what I mean? We're sticking with 3. It took a lot of
Make
time
that-
for me to go from 2 to 3. But anyways, what
They
were you saying?
can name them whatever they want, but have a.
Oh yeah, we will build
ranking.
we will build the skeleton. You guys can rename them. I've already added that, right? So you can go ahead and add, you know, as you guys have seen for your kingdom and your seat, you can name any position whatever you want. You can name your seat mayor to king. Will you be able to customize your titles? Yes. So like for example, okay.
High King is High King or something. Yeah. High King, like Noldor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want. So like if you guys go look, if you go to /title and go down to variations, it gives you a whole menu of the default stuff. For every waypoint, territory, and region, it says, you know, master of, for example, the master of the angle, but for the territory, it'll say warden of the angle, and for the region of the lowlands, it'll say the governor of the blah blah blah. But then also you can change that. Yes, they can have whatever little roleplay titles they want. Yes, you can even hand them out. And so let's go into oh yeah, dude. Okay. Favor and feasts. Okay, so let's go talk about what are these little dots. These are waypoints. Waypoints are made up of districts. Okay, how we are changing districts. Okay, when you have these districts, it is the Call of Duty perk system, motherfuckers. Okay, sorry for the swearing, but that is what it is. You get a space of 10, but depending on how complicated the district you choose to put down, that is going to change its weight, okay? So every single one will start off as a camp, okay? Or a hovel. I don't know what word we're going to use, okay? But that hovel goes ahead and generates citizens. These citizens translate to how many auto pop up, okay? So if I go ahead and generate 1 citizen at my camp at this district of Weathertop that I just claimed, every 24 hours I will get 1 citizen, okay? And I can go take that citizen and I can go slap him down as a spawn egg. Not a good idea, because you're kind of wasting the only resource you have, because the cool thing about that citizen is now that he exists at this waypoint as just an integer, right? He might not physically spawn. He now has, every time you interact with that, after a cooldown that I'm not going to talk about, but like let's say you go ahead and like Weathertop, you spend all day at Weathertop. And by the way, for those who don't know, we actually have like these district blocks. Oh great, the rendering broke. But like when you slap on these, see waypoint intercept, but like it there's a whole interaction menu. Okay, I just haven't shown you guys this. Well, you guys don't see this in single player, right? And so they will just be integers. But when you have 1 citizen, it will literally say, hey, every 10 minutes you interact with this, there's a 1% chance that a Gondor man will spawn, or a Khazad-dûm dwarf, or a Shire hobbit, or a Jinjin man, or a whatever, right? But if you have 24 of them, every 10 minutes there's a 24% chance that one will spawn. So it's not good if you go ahead and take them out of the inventory, right? The idea is bank them up. And so when you go ahead and rule a place, you're gaining these citizens. What do these citizens help you do? Well, at the main hovel place, I think this first one, what is the easiest thing to help you guys with? I think it's literally just going to give you guys food. Like straight up. it is going to give you guys apples. Like, I don't know exactly what it's going to get, but it is just going to give you something, so that way, okay, what is the thing that you want to log on if you want to go on an adventure, and you're like, okay, what is the thing that I always forget? Obviously, most people are like, okay, maybe arrows, right? But like, until we get you to the Fletchery district, you need food or like water, right? And so like, that's what this basic district will do. And how does that translate? The more citizens you have here, the more water you get every 6 hours, right? So is there going to be an in-depth tutorial for them? Yes. And so the cool thing about like these advisors you see is all these advisors that you talk about when you interact with something, like these district blocks, and you right click on them, you will have an option to spawn in this advisor, and he will go over all of this dialogue menu and everything. Okay, so like whether it's a faction lord or a realm lord or a fiefdom lord or a waypoint thing or a this or that or whatever, right? You will go ahead and be able to talk to an NPC and they will explain it all to you. I will have a section, I don't care how long it takes. I will have a frequently asked questions. Like the Grey Wanderer, yes, but when you right click on him, you will have a whole dialogue tree of like, I'm a faction lord. And you're like, what does that mean? It's like, I rule this. And you're like, okay, well, you mentioned something called a realm. What is a realm? And you go click on the realm and it takes you to the realm tree, right? It'll be a lot more in depth than Gandalf. You will still have to go do the steps. We will always try to go ahead and like, it's a lot more open-ended. Right? We will try to like, maybe making it a little more linear like Gandalf for some of these wouldn't be the worst idea. We might do that. But what am I talking about? So at this district, every 24 hours, you will go ahead and gain 1 citizen. Does this mean that every day you have to log on? No. It means after 3 days, you will have, next time you touch it, 3 citizens. Every day that this gains you a citizen, you go, this district gains, just for now, call it XP, okay? 5 XP. So if it's been 3 days, what's 5 times 3? 15. So you've gained 15 XP. When does this district level up? When you have 50 XP. So you need 10 days, right? So after 10 days, now instead of getting a citizen every 24 hours, you get a citizen every 23 hours. And you're like, oh my God, Slayer, that is the greatest thing in the world. I love you so much. Thank you for making that, Slayer. You're the greatest. Thank you. High five, okay? So that will stack, by the way, because when you have 24 waypoints, even if they're level 1, that means you're getting 24 citizens a day. Very useful. So anyways, do citizens generate wealth taxes resources? So the citizens at the district will make like one type of resource, maybe 2 or 3 in the future. But I want to get this across the line to where, hey, season 4 can start, and then we can come back. Hey, week 2, it's like, hey guys, for all of the farms, you've actually made it where they'll go ahead and produce, or like, you know, maybe like, hey, for all of your districts, once your district reaches level 3 or is level 3 or higher, every time your citizens make like bread, for example, there's a chance that they also sell that bread, so they don't make the bread, but now that waypoint has 5 silver coins, right? And so that could be a very simple way of, it's like, it's kind of out of your control. You didn't have to go ahead and do it. And okay, yeah, you have 1 less bread, but now you have 5 silver coins. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? Our role is going to have sort of interaction with the faction, fiefdom, realm, and districts. They're going to act as protection. So when you have a role, all of us go ahead and unlock 1 role, like Theoden. And then you have all these other roles and you don't do anything with them. If you want to go ahead and protect a waypoint from being utterly obliterated, the first time it is sieged, whatever you do to that siege, if there's a role there and that role is not incapacitated, that is the blow. You get a full extra siege. Like, what am I talking about? So let's go take a look at Theoden, right? So Riksuki, you become Theoden. Theoden lives at Edoras, but you're like, okay, obviously they're going to go for Helm's Deep. You unlock Gambling. Gambling at basic, and then you're like, I'm really stressed out. I'm going to go make him common, okay? And so now you have common. You've assigned, because you own Helm's Deep, okay? You can go ahead and assign Gambling to Helm's Deep. Now Gambling, you've upgraded him to common, and so now he has like more inherent like units that spawn. Like, you know how in the past you had to go and assign units everywhere to all of your waypoints? No, when you have roles, basic is going to have 50, common's going to have 100, rare is going to have 200. So when you get these roles, they're kind of always act like summoners, okay? And so when you have Gambling here, and let's say Oscar comes across and it's like, Oscar hates Gambling and he tries to kill you at Helm's Deep, even if he wins that siege, Gamling will be incapacitated and cannot fight. We'll say for like 3 days, right? Then Oscar can go lick his wounds, wait 12 hours, 18 hours, a whole day, go get more resources, and attack you again and take Helm's Deep from you. Okay? So what does it mean when I say take Helm's Deep? Okay? So, in the past, this is how the cycle went, and this cycle sucked. Oscar, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, you would go spend all of your time and energy and resources on these things called district upgrade tools, and you would slap your district, so it would be 4 health, 8 health, 12 health, right? And then you'd have to go trade and trade and trade and trade and trade and trade and trade, and then now you'd have your full health, right? Because you had your total health and your current health, right? So you could slap the tools and get a total out of 50 health, but you still had 0 out of 50, right? But now you had to go get the 50 out of 50. So it was a 2-step process that took you a lot of time. And then somebody would siege you. And in a quarter of the time it took you to build up Helm's Deep, they took it from you. And then you would just freaking seethe. And so they would go ahead and try to build it up, and you would be forced to move your legion back to Deep and Coombe, and you'd come back and go kick their chest through their back, right? You'd be angry, you'd come back. And so all it was 2 players who spent a lot of time not having fun, losing everything. That sucks. That was the worst, okay? And so everything that builds about districts correlates to time. You cannot donate to make 24 hours go by quicker. Do you understand that? Like, if I just said the rules. The district will upgrade after 24 hours. It will get 5 XP. To go reach level 2, it requires 50 XP. Therefore, after 10 days, this district will be level 2. I never said if you hold it. No, starting day 0, every waypoint on the map, after 6 hours, we'll go check. Hey, am I older than 24 hours? Yes. 5 XP, 1 citizen. All across the entire map, okay? And so then, let's say Helm's Deep. You add, because we've only said, you've gone off the deep end, Riksuki, okay? You've added 10 of these hovels, okay? And so every 24 hours, you are getting 10 citizens, okay? Not bad. Maybe this is your citizen depot. And you're like, okay, this is beautiful. I'm going to go do that for all of these. But then Isengard right up here gets wind of this. And you're like, I'm going to go take out their bread basket right down here, right? So you go to Helm's Deep. But it's been enough days where you have all 10 of your districts are now at, let's say, level 10, okay? If Oscar were to come to Helm's Deep, and let's say in this exact example, Gamling's down there. You have Gamling at common. He sieges, he wins, Gambling is down and out. He sieges you again. He now can go ahead and say, hey, are you going to bend the knee, or am I going to have to raise you? Okay? And when you bend the knee, it means that waypoint is pledged to him. When you're talking about taxes earlier, okay, that stuff will go to him. So things from his district will literally, he will be able to go ahead and reap, he will be able to go to Helm's Deep and take stuff from your district. Okay?
Good.
So, what does this translate to? Okay, why does this feel like a town simulator? Yes. So, what is this? Okay, so, will you guys also make the structure items finally craftable, like houses? We cannot do that on the server, Team Razor, because there's no undo button. That's why we have never trusted structures. There's no undo button. And like if that happens to somebody's base, you know what I mean? It's been a long day at work. You come home because the day before you actually finally finish making your tower, and you log online, and a staff member has to go and tell you, hey man, I'm really sorry. I was trying to show someone something, I right-clicked and I spawned an entire fortress. Your entire base is gone. There's no undo button for that. So like we've just removed that stuff entirely. Now what we have done, Team Razor, is we have a Plot Me world, which you can go ahead and build your entire city, and just we'll copy it over for you. People would use craftable structures to grief the server. They have. This rule is written in blood. If you are a staff member, guys, right now, if I were to log on to the server, I cannot hold the structure. It will take it from my inventory. If I right-click on it, it'll kick me from the game before it places it. I had to code that in because I don't trust myself. Our server. I don't trust myself. I don't trust staff.
Structure?
All structures. The structure block. Here's how I know I don't trust this block. The ID is 4314. At least on the server it is. I know that ID by heart.
Sure.
Yes, it's 4314. Go look it up. So, anyways. Let's put it this way. So, Team Razor, I do not want you to go gather resources to go put into a structure that you had no help in doing or making. What I want to be able to go ahead and do is, if you're trying to go for a Helm's Deep vibe, you probably want Rohan bricks. And I want to be able to say, hey, at the Deep and Coombe, you went ahead and made a stone quarry. A stone quarry is a type of district. This requires a hovel. It is also a district of a weight of 2. So even though you have a total of 2 districts, you now have a weight of 3. So you only have 7 more space at your waypoint, right? So there's a little bit of strategy to this. But now you are getting every day the free wood and the free stone, to where, no, you're not going out into the woods to right click with your mouse and left click with your mouse to go turn this into a structure that you don't give a shit about. I want you to be able to log in and be like, oh, I have a lot more wood and stone than I thought I did. Oh, dude, I can make that tower twice as big. That's what I want. I want you to have that. I want you to be able to log on like this town simulator thing. Yes. I want, like, okay, all the ring material stuff. What if you're like, I have done all of the quests. I've become a mage. I've become a legion commander. I've become a general and a king and all this stuff, but I hate the rings of power stuff. Yeah, guess what you can go do at the Deep and Coombe. Okay, level 1 is hovel, right? Level 2 becomes smithy. Okay, level 3 becomes ringsmith, right? So it's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. Okay, and so now all of that becomes 6 out of 10, right? But now you're getting, again, starting off at day 1 basic amber every day. So you can go ahead and never have to go ahead and touch any ring material stuff and go set the districts you own to go farm for that. That's the Pow World metaphor I was talking about. Okay, so Ritsuki, technically speaking, the reason, like, the reason you guys are going to kill each other is the same. Like, holy shit! Oscar, I was just missing the oil of it all. I had to add oil. Like, I added oil, right? Like the Prima Forge stuff and the shield coins, right? But now I'm gonna make it where, like, oh, you're Slayer, you telling me right now? Okay. If I wanted, I could go make a hovel, and then a smithy, and then a ring forge, and then maybe the last thing we allow you to do once you have a ring forge is a mithril mine, okay? And it's a level 4, and it gives you 1 mithril ingot every 2 days, okay? And it takes 1,000 XP to level up, okay? Something stupid, right? But that means, I'm telling you, that if you control 10 waypoints, every day you log on, you will get 10 nuggets of mithril from doing nothing.
Go. No, wait.
Yes.
That's not good.
Yes.
No.
Yes, but what if your enemies have that? And what if mithril is a very good thing? Hey, we're talking about favor. You know what might help?
I said that wasn't good because I wanted to make a monopoly on mithril.
That's how you do it, right? And so,
yeah, but I was gonna live in Casa and just didn't close the doors.
Yes. And so, like, one thing is, like, all these districts, okay, I will call them, like, once a week, call them like favor challenges, like favor weekly challenges, how I want you to think about them. Like, at that mithril, okay, at that mithril mine, okay, one idea I had is, like, think of it more like an ore mine, and then you go ahead and select which ore you want to mine for. And, like, even if mithril, like, was like mithril, let's just say, just follow me here, to get 1 nugget takes 48 hours, but going ahead and getting 1 nugget of bronze takes 2 hours. So you can set them to mithril, or you can set it to bronze, okay? So you can just farm and farm and farm and farm and farm, right? You can just get this stuff ad infinitum. But the thing is, like, if you have a bronze mine, for example, once a week to go get this favor, it'll just be an open quest for anyone, is like, oh, hey, if you go ahead and bring me, you know, random micro quest of, like, 10 forges for my bronze mine, I will go ahead and give you 5 favor. I got 10 forges, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, right? And so there's only so many of these you can go ahead and do, right? Once a week, once a month, whatever we do, right? So anyways, get those refineries or Hodrum are going to go crazy about them. Yes. What if you, for some reason, aren't active for more than 3 weeks and you lose your roles, seats? What happens to the districts? The districts will still have their stuff. Like,
Yeah.
they will just have it in there. Like, you have to think about this. That mithril mine at the Deep in Coombe is just an integer that will go from 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, right? And so, who can go ahead and take that from 3 to 0? Well, whoever owns the waypoint, right? So if you're gone for 3 weeks and nobody else owns it, you can come back another 3 weeks later, come back and still get it. Okay? So 6 weeks later, you'll have 6 weeks worth of stuff. It's gonna be wild. Like, people are gonna be like, I am gonna go travel to Farharat. Holy shit. Like, you're telling me if I leave a bronze mine down there for four months, I can come back to 160 bronze? Yes. Absolutely. I don't care. And so that whole system, okay, how does seats relate to this? Okay, what are your seats of power? Seats of power is something that is like, okay, so at these waypoints, there's no protection, right? You like block protection. You can be griefed unless you go put banners. What are seats of power? Seats of power is like when I go ahead, like all they were. Seats of power came before all the shit you see. Okay, so they're kind of like this odd stepchild that doesn't fit in anymore. Kind of sucks. So anyways, that was a little deep cut. So what we need to go ahead and do is make that child feel involved. And how we're going to go ahead and do that, right, is at your seat, okay, I want you to think of your seat. Yes, it has the 1,000 block by 1,000 block protection, so you can truly make, Helm's Deep fully protected. You don't have to make banners everywhere. Most of us know this, right? But seats have had these buildings, and these buildings haven't really done anything. What you'll be able to do is, like we talked about hovels and these gem mines and these mithril mines, you will use seats like tech upgrades. So instead of buildings, like for example, hovel, you're not going to have to go get all these buildings in order. You'll have hovel 1, and hovel 1 says, hey, did you know at your seat, if you go ahead and unlock this, at every single hovel that you or anyone at this seat owns, instead of it taking 24 hours, it will take 23 and a half hours. And you're like, huh, how about that? Because now if I get hovel 5, that might not be 22 and a half hours versus 24 hours. And what if some of my districts are now at, level 6? Well, that's another 3 hours off, right? 6 times half hour, 30 minutes, right? So 24 hours, I am now at, I'm at 19 and a half hours. Why should you come live in my seat? Hey, I see that you're trying to take over the world. I have hovel 10. You're trying to build an army? You need barracks? What do barracks do? Barracks is a level 2, weight 2 district that turns civilians into free troops. And so you can just make this into a dispenser into a chest, right? Isn't this going to power Zergs like huge Rush clans? We have seen that, but there is an ebb and flow to this game. One of the most powerful factions in the game, and this happens very often, conviction is very much still a thing. There are people with conviction and people without conviction. I'm not going to start dropping names. I'm not going to try to be disparaging to anyone in the chat. But the entire faction of Gondor fell apart after 3 sieges over Helm's Deep, Deep in Coombe, and Fords of Isengard. They owned all of down here, and it broke them as a person, losing 3 sieges against 2 people up here. Okay? It was not fun for them. Like, the idea is, yes, there's these huge Rush clans, but okay, so you don't know about legions, Team Razor, but like legions, think about it like chess. If like, yes, you have 16v16 pieces, but like Gondor doesn't have 16 pieces. They might have like 7 pieces. And these 7 legions, okay, like if I wanted to attack Helm's Deep, but my legion is in Calimbel, I have to move from Calimbel to Ethring to Tarnos, Tarnos to Edheland, Edheland to Penethgalen, Penethgalen to River Left Nui to White Mountain Pass to Freckeshold to Wolfburg to Fords of Eyes, and Fords of Eyes and down to Deep in Coombe, so on and so forth. Right? So, hello there. Oh yeah, so this is a whole game. So Team Razor, most of the stuff we're talking about, this is not going to be rules that you have to go sit down and remember. I will say this: it will be it'll be text that's explained to you. Hey, you cannot do this because you haven't done this, and your question might be extrapolated from that. Like, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going. What is going on? Right? That might be your question, but this is game code. We are making this into code. Now, the thing that I don't know if you know about, this is not single player. What we are planning to do, because I don't know Java well enough right now, I know the coding language that we use. Our plan is just to just throw up a whole bunch of these servers, and so that way, like Team Razor, for like, hey, I played World 1, and World 1 I was as Gondor, but I joined Gondor under a shitty king, and we got decimated. I'm done with World 1, I'm joining World 2. In World 2, I'm the Hobbits, and we have a pipeweed business, and I love life, right? That's what I'm trying to do, right? Because, like, this game, Team Razor, you've not played a lot of it, it is a punishing game. When you lose, you lose hard, okay? It is not fun, okay? It is not fun. So what we need to go do is make a wider community net, okay? And so what I'm trying to do is twofold. One, reduce the lose, and Riksuki, thank you for bringing that up, because like I want to talk about that in a second. But the second thing is, like, if you were to, like, let's say you were ostracized from this world, right? You were the hobbits, and turns out you screwed over everyone, and you ate the ring. You didn't even destroy it, you just ate it. Everyone hates you. You can go leave this world and go to another world, right? So I asked a question about the mod. Yes, I would very much like to make different. Yes, for Europeans, for Russians, for Asia. Yes, all across the world. Yes. I asked a question about the mod being available in single player for building prepare for the server. Yeah. So you can go ahead. The issue there is, like, I don't want to get too deep into Minecraft, but like if you don't build on our server. Like, watch. Okay, see this number right here? Like, let's go ahead and choose a really deep number, right? Middle Earth blocks all the way down here. This new Wayne Rider block. This new Wayne Rider block has an ID of 2079. That is on my map. On our server, that is very, very old, it might be 4096. And on your single player, it might be 1116. And that 1116, yes. So I know the IDs. So if you come onto our server, we have Plot World. We'll throw you World Edit. In the past, you've had to pay for it, but for World Edit right now, everyone's kind of in a turtle for next season. So I might just be like, hey, if you need World Edit, DM me. I will just throw it on there.
Hey Slayer, I'm letting you know I am heading out.
All right,
just run.
Yeah, no, thank you.
If you need me for anything, just let me know.
Yep, no worries, buddy.
All right, see ya.
See ya, buddy.
Have a good stream, fellas.
Yep, thank you, man. I don't know if Team Razor, I'm down for it. I don't really care. We can, yeah, as long as it helps you guys. So, besiege and claim a waypoint, okay? Well, this is what the pre-made, and this is why we can't use pre-made gen structures. Well, we do use gen structures, but it's a version. Like, we removed stuff that wasn't allowed in gen structures, like the Minecraft Middle Earth stuff. We removed all of those builds. Those are gone. But like some of the ones that were like utter ass, right? We removed some of them, and then some of them we've kind of made into our own. And so, welcome back, Zippy. Hopefully your dog had fun. But we do use some gen structures, but like again, it's the ones that are public with permission. You're allowed to use them. It wasn't stolen, right? But also for the ones that didn't fit, either we remove them or we were like, hey, we gotta change this, you know. So, anyways. We talked about these districts, right? What happens if you have 4 districts and they're all at level 10 and somebody comes and sieges you, right? And so as I told you earlier, you're gonna get 2 options: bend the knee, or I'm gonna raise you. Okay. How our gen structure is gonna be protected? So the way it currently works is that the entire build is protected by World Edit. And if you want to go ahead and make one of these seats of power, you can overclaim it. So, for example, Minas Morgul. Minas Morgul, at season start, will have a protection over it. So nobody can come here and just destroy it. Take stuff out of the chest, blah, blah, blah. You will have to go ahead and be like, hey, I want to rule this place to go do it. And that is not cheap. You won't be able to like, oh, I want to rule this place, and this place, and this place, and this place. No, it is one at a time, and it is annoying. Also, is terrain destructible in a siege? Not by the attackers. There are some things we have like block breakers. I'm open to changing that for like we have siege engines, and I feel like siege engines should break through walls, but we shall see. The thing that I always hate is like, it's gonna sound dumb, But like, if I can go ahead and figure out how to go ahead and do non-terrain damage, like when something explodes, okay? Like, let's say this is just some arbitrary wall that some dude makes, right? If I go ahead and throw a catapult up here, I do not want it to blow away all of this because it just sucks. If I can go ahead and spend some time with code to make it to where, oh, you went ahead and, you know, blew away this wall and it only got rid of this, I'm down for that. Because that's stuff that we can replace. But like for the ground, we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so scroll contest to the middle of the road. It's funny. Rams, trebuchets. Well, we have some trebuchets, some catapults, some kind of builds like that. You can use Archimedes, technically speaking, to build them. So yes. Now that you mentioned the server builds, will the new waypoints also come accompanied by builds? We're trying to have all waypoints accompanied by builds, but as the build team leader told me, it's like, if you keep adding waypoints, I cannot add all builds to all waypoints. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So we shall see. Season 4's release is still some time off. So beyond that, when you have these districts that are level 10, okay, and you are attacked, you can either choose like, hey, you won, you got me, or you can be like, spit in your face, right? If you go ahead and bend the knee, these districts will lose 25% health. So 10 becomes 7, okay? Technically 7.5, but we're gonna round down because that's funny, and I hate you guys. I hate players. No, it's going to be a little more punching, so it's going to round down, okay? So that 7.5 becomes 7. And you're like, shit. Okay, I probably should have negotiated before this, right? So the loss isn't as punishing, which is I lost the entire waypoint, okay? Now you can still lose the entire waypoint. What that means is that they are going to have to duel you, or like if they cannot duel you, we will use an NPC in your place. But like that, the duel is like an assassination or a beheading, like depending on how weak you are. Because like it'd be kind of cool. Like if you're above 5 strength, you're allowed to fight it out. But if you're at 1 strength, you're getting beheaded. Like they are choosing to raise you. You're not leaving, right? Like they sieged you once, you went from 10 to 7, right? So sorry, that's bending the knee, right? But if they raise you, it goes down by 50, right? So 10 to 5, okay. But they kick your ass, right? And you're still at that waypoint, okay? But what they've done is took all of your time and energy and resources from you, right? So Oscar, you go ahead and, you raise all of Riksuki from 10 to 5. And you're like, hey man, knock it off. Stop attacking me. I will come back here and do that again. I warned you. I killed Gambling. I warned you after I killed Gambling. You said no. You wanted to fight, and I came and kicked your ass a second time. Do not make me come and do it a third time, right? And so Riksuki waits 2 days, and Riksuki's like, bitch. And Oscar, you're like, what was that? And so you march all the way back, right? And so Gambling is, maybe Gambling comes back, right? He waited for Gambling to come back. So you kill Gambling again, right? Because his protection's back up. You still got to go kill Gambling, right? You kill Gambling, and then you go kill him again, and like, Riksuki, are you going to bend the knee, or do I have to raise you again, right? So let's go over this. At 5, if he bends the knee, that takes 25%, which will take you down to 3, okay? But if he raises you, it takes you down to 2, okay? And like what I'm thinking is at 2 or below, that's where it's like, hey, they don't even have to siege you anymore. If they go ahead and click this button that'll take them 500 renown, they remove you from the waypoint. You have been beheaded, right? Or you've been exiled, right? And so waypoints will take a lot more to fight over, okay? But when you lose, the loss will be less punishing, okay? So you're like, oh, so I'm gonna have to fight forever to go kill an enemy that doesn't really have to die, or like take forever to die. It's like, yes, we're gonna go ahead and try that out, because what we have experienced the last few seasons is House of Cards syndrome, which is like I was just explaining with Gondor. I said I've seen it happen many times, which is even though they have 27 waypoints, this kingdom loses 3 waypoints and like everything self explodes. Self-implodes, right? Game over, I lost. I'm done. Game over, I suck. I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I'm out. You know what I mean? And so what I'm trying to do is like, If you want to kill someone to death, oh, dude, you're going to have to sit there and, like, strangle them for 5 minutes. It's going to get real quiet and real awkward. Like, you are going to have to look them in the soul of their eyes as you are taking the life from them. Yes, that's way too deep, but, like, that is what I'm trying to get at. Okay? But it also means that, like, single-player kingdoms, people who are like, hey, I want to make friends with people, but, like, I want to own my kingdom by myself, they're not going to get trampled over by a team of 8. Okay? So this is going against my former policy of I'm not really that much of a fan of one-man kingdoms, but now I will be. And the final thing I will end with this is for all of these factions that you guys see. Every single faction will be making changes and moves. I don't know if we're going to get to the point where, like, if nobody plays as the Golf Pirates, they get a legion that just starts moving around. But every day, I will make a very, 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 very... I'm going to use the word AI, but I want you guys to think about, like, old school games AI, like RTS AI, not, like, new age AI, of where, like, they will go ahead and decide, hey, what waypoint do I want to upgrade? Not upgrade, but, like, what waypoint do I want to go build a new district, right? Why would I want, like, would the AI choose at Alpinin, okay? Would they... like, if they already have a hovel and another hovel, what are the odds they're going to go choose a third fucking hovel, right? Or they're going to go choose a barracks, you know what I mean? And so, like, that way, it's like, oh, they're kind of making troops on their own, right? So that way, if nobody chooses these people and somebody comes down to fight them, you might come to these steps and be like, they have 500 troops here, what the hell, right? That might be an option. That might be a thing that happens, okay? Because as we've talked about, I would like to get to a stage where people could go ahead and be like, hey, Slayer, I really like this mod. I will give you $20 for this month if you can go ahead and load up a server for me and my 5 friends. We are going to go choose to be Gondor and see if we can go fight all this AI and see how far we can do. And I might be like, yeah, that's fine. You know, if it only takes you a week, we'll make it $10 instead of $20. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, so hold on. Well, the reason why this is overlapping is because I haven't... This is broken code. It's not the display name, it's the key name. And so anyways, the pay thing I'm talking about, guys, is like, if I don't like subscriptions, I really don't. And $20 is way too much. But it'll be something like, if it only takes you a month, it'll be $20. But if it takes you 2 months, I'll be like, okay, it's $10 a month. If it takes you 3 months, $5. Like, the price will be $20, right? However long it takes you, right? The idea is whether you want it to be your single player game, you play with your friends for a week, or whether you're playing for a few months against your dad, you know what I mean? Like, he chooses Gondor, you choose Mordor, and you play this game that we make, right? That money goes to me and the staff team, okay? That's how this works. And so, today's been a long stream. We've been doing this for about 2 hours. We've gone over a lot of different questions. The idea that I wanted to show you guys was that, like, hey, things have been changed, things have been updated. Now, I will read off the incoming microfactions or fiefdoms and the realms that we have incoming. This is not all of them. And then we will move on to part 3. And for a lot of you, you're like, Slayer, I don't care. See you later. That's totally fine. I want you to have a great day. But we'll move on to Stargate. But let me go ahead and just read off all of these factions just real quick. Okay. So, Druidine. Druidine is actually a full-ass faction that's being added. Oh, yeah. Forward Waith. Whatever I said to be reminded. After I read these out, yes, the things that we gotta be reminded of. That's actually, it's good timing, too. And Angmar. Nice. Actually, yes, so that's gonna answer Angmar. Druidine, full-ass faction. They will have a realm of Druidine. No fiefdom. Druwaith, that'll be a realm. What are you talking about, Slayer? What am I talking about? Is the Druidine will spawn in the Gondor woodlands, but only within a certain range, roughly around here. It's like 2,200. So, like, they technically won't spawn over here. They won't spawn over here. They won't spawn over here, because that's lore accurate, baby. The other thing is the Druaith, the Pukelmen, will spawn out through here. Okay, I'm working on a third little faction, because if you go read, it says they were also on the shore of the Enidwaith, and that'd be kind of fun for a biome that's very empty. If you were like, hey, if I go towards the Mouths of Eisen, I'll actually find the Druidine. A little bit of immersion and spice, right? So, Then we have the whites, but then we have Dunharrow. Dunharrow will be in the Misty Mountains. They will only spawn within 2,000 blocks around here. You know what? I'm gonna move this over here so I can read this off quicker. So Dunharrow, they will be currently right now Dunland microfaction. Okay, so fiefdom. Then we have Aaron Vorn. Aaron Vorn is a realm, also Dunland, because the Enidwaith, for those who don't know, is also Dunland. So this whole area, evil men. Okay. Karn Doom Uruk. So this is an Angmar thing. 2,000 blocks around here. You will have the oh, by the way, all of these guys are hireable by their captains. It'll be roughly around the same price. Whatever an Uruk for the Black Uruks would be is going to be the same price for Angmar. Okay. So Karn Doom Uruk, they will spawn naturally, is what I'm saying. So like that, like if you're down here, you will not see a Karn Doom Uruk because it makes no sense. If you're up here, guess what? They will be up here. Karn Doom, and then we have, of course, is Angmar fiefdom. Then we have Coldfells. Coldfells Uruks. They are a realm of Angmar. Okay. Then we have Ethel Angmar. Ethel Angmar is the Angmar Mountains. So it's Angmar with like fur. Next time we do a stream, I'm gonna be gone next week on a vacation, which I desperately need. But the week after that, I plan on showing you guys. I have some of them spawning, but I want to get them all done. So that way, like, hey Slayer, you mentioned this faction. Can you show me them spawning? And I can be like, yes. Right now, I can't. So anyways, Angmar Mountain orcs. Okay. Then we have Ettenmoors. Ettenmoors now have their own orcs. So all through here, Angmar now has all of their sub-factions. Will there be more in the future? Maybe, but they're kind of fleshed the hell out. At least the orc side of things. The Rudour side of things, not quite there yet. Ardunaim. Now, I have to go talk to people about this name, but it's essentially Southern Numenorians. Okay? Apparently, Ardunaim is, like, not lore. And it's somebody else's custom name, and I'm not trying to steal someone's name, so I have to go talk to someone. But, like, Southern Numenorians, they are in and working. Kuvian and Elf. Subfaction of Avari elves that spawn on the Wild Wolf, Wild Wolf, but they spawn from here to here, so down here. Beyond that, we got Belegost. Belegost, around 3,000 blocks around Belegost. We have Arvidui down here. We have Grey Mountain Dwarves. Now, Grey Mountain Dwarves are originally going to spawn all throughout the Grey Mountains, but there's other things coming, and I'm not going to explain what they are right now. But now these guys will spawn around Dane's Halls. Then we have Bardhaven. Bardhaven is Dale. They will spawn all throughout here. From here, like this kind of like section of the map. I was originally going to do a radius, but like I was like, this is too much. Let's go through them down here. Then we have Tower Morvith. Tower Morvith are Dulgudor orcs, subfaction. They will spawn down here. Dora and Ernil is Dol Amroth, so Gondor men through here. Then we have Eminwinian elves. Eminwinian elves will replace Dorwinian elves that spawn throughout here. Then we have Adornland. Adornland is essentially Dunland, got replaced. So like again, they will be Dunland faction, Dunland guys, Dunland talks. They will have Adornland names, but like that's where they spawn. It's just a different look. Also, everything I'm talking about, guys, these entities all have different armors. They do not have different weapons, but they are entities that you can fight, entities that you can hire, armors that you can wear and craft. Like, well, let me go get to actually these next ones. So for example, Region, okay? Region has Austin Edhill around here and House Celebrimbor around here. Now, if we go ahead and look at their stuff, their crafting recipes. There we go, Austin Edhill. Okay, so Region takes Elven Steel, but the Austin Edhill takes Khazad-dûm Steel as well. And the House Celebrimbor takes a Khazad-dûm, but also a little bit of gold. Now, as I was explaining to Mart, all of these currently have the same stats. I am down for these stats to change, but not by a lot. I do not want to make pseudo-mithril, okay? Like, if we go think about this like logical progression, okay? If this is technically harder to get, this will be 5% better. And if this is technically hard to get, this would be like 2% better. So total overall, 7% better. Not game changing, but like, hey, if you pay attention, you kind of know what armor to get, right? What I was really looking for is like, I'm okay with them having the same armor, just different looks, right? So that way it's like, hey, even for big ass biomes, it's still kind of fun to go through them again, you know? So anyways, Ossinet Hill, okay? Then we have Imloth Malui. Imloth Malui is a Lasarnok subfaction. Then we have Wastelands Ranger. These are Athelian Rangers that spawn throughout the Wasteland. Their stuff's a little bit darker, and they wear more black, and like they have balaclavas and stuff like that. Amphalas Warrior. Amphalas Warrior is down through here. Gondor, they're Pinneth Gelen. Then we have Anorian. Anorian is Gondor, but spawns are up here. As we discussed, they essentially take this line right here. They spawn above this line. Down here is still Gondor soldiers, because they would have Gondor soldiers fighting against Mordor. Then we have Thorgrim half trolls. So we already have half trolls that spawn throughout Port-Dagorwith, but there's now half trolls that spawn throughout these forests. Then we have Forlond. Forlond up here. Elves that spawn around here. Then we have Osirian elves that spawn. This is a realm all throughout here, so it's actually a line that goes from here to here, so technically you'll see them kind of overlapping here. I'm okay with that. Then we have Mithlond. Mithlond is actually its full realm. They have full weapons, they have spear, sword, battle axe, all that stuff, and they spawn pretty much take like, I think it's like right here to right here. They spawn all throughout here. Then we have Bruennin Warrior. Those are all high elves, Linden elves specifically. Then we have Bruennin. Bruennin, now it's going to be a little bit tinier, but like Bruennin, they will spawn 1, 2, 3, 4. It's from this one to this one is Bruennin elves for Rivendell, okay? Then from this to this, it wasn't straight. It's this one to this one is Imladris Vale, and the rest of it is Rivendell. Now, I might change this a little bit because like Rivendell kind of spawns everywhere else. I might make it to where like everywhere else is Rivendell, and then in here is Fort O'Brien over here, and then Imladris Vale everywhere else. So anyways, the beauty of this is like once I figured out how to do this, it made life a lot easier. So then we have Iron Hills. They have a subfaction of stuff, and so their stuff is it's called the Engren Vale. And so even though this Aaron Garen is like redwood forests, there will be dwarves that spawn in here, and like they will spawn like essentially over here, like this cut and over, but also just in these forests. So like redwood dwarves. Anyways, then we have Nan Kuranir Uruk. So normal Isengard spawns pretty much everywhere else. Nan Kuranir will spawn in this biome. Then we have Orthanc, but in this biome, around like 1,000, very tiny, will be these Orthanc Uruks. So these are again two completely different sets of armor, different entities. Then we have Uruk Highlands, so different Uruks spawn up here. So that makes up those 4. Then we have, I think we're coming to an end, Logathrim. So these guys, they now have their very similar looking Easterling gilded golden iron kind of thing, but they also have a normal iron. And so like these 2 waypoints, Fort of Fruenin and Gwainarin, take this, take 5, I think, no, it's 25. 25 as a circle, so like around here and around here, but only in the biome of Logathrim Wilderlands. That's where you'll find the Logathrim guys with this golden armor. Outside of that, you'll see them with the silver armor, and then up here, the iron armor, and then up here you'll see them with the silver armor. I'm going to give you a hint as to what biome now has more silver spawning in it. So, beyond that, still have more, sorry. So, we have Celebrant elves. So these will be elves of Lothlorien that spawn through Celebrant. Then we have Lothlorien Eve's Warden. So up through here, we changed their scouts and wardens to have a different look. Then we have Nimrodel Elf. So over here, we'll have different looking elves. Then we have the Morleen. Morleen for the Morwaith, which would be essentially Morwaith that spawned, I think I chose like this lake and over. So they just have a different look. Then we have Desolation Uruk. So think about black Uruks that don't live over here. They live in the Desolation. They are the oppressors of the Nurad. So they also spawn in Nurad. Then we have the Glamhoth. So Glamhoth is going to be down here. I'm going to be changing how Nirn looks. But like, think of it like a settlement of evil men that are like Nurad that aren't slaves. Like, think of it like evil men that earn their freedom. Like dudes who are like, not only am I fucking with this Mordor shit, I'm going to make other people suffer with this Mordor shit. That's the Glamhoth evil men. Okay. Then we have the Morgai Orc. Morgai Orcs will essentially spawn in the Mordor biome, but they are essentially Durthang Orcs. So from like here down to here, that's where you're going to see these bad boys. And then we have Harondor. Harondor is now a realm. They will have warriors and archers and banner bearers. That's obviously near Harad. Then we have a Numinas. A Numinas for these will be like normal swordsmen, not rangers, but they will still be Dunedain. Okay, so a Numinas will spawn around here. Then we have Fornos spawn around here. They look very Arnorian. For the actual Dunedain rangers themselves, we have the Grey Company, and the Grey Company live in the Northlands up here. So then, continuing on, we're actually almost getting done. We have the Caranola Warriors. These will be the Rudel of the Rudel Hills over here. Okay. Then we have East Emnet. So East Emnet kind of got some warrior stuff, so they have full armor instead of like leather levyman stuff. Then for the Sindar, we have the Phalathrim. The Phalathrim will spawn on Himling and Himling only. Then we have the Toll, essentially Tolfuan elves, and so they spawn entirely on here. No, sorry, only around within 500 here, because it's Gondolinian armor, technically speaking. And then we have, finally, some Autumno aggressors. We have Angband orcs, that essentially they won't spawn anywhere. We'll just be using them for like sieges and stuff. Then we have Faragoth elf for woodland, so Felagoth up here. Then we have Forest River. Down here. I'll spawn in the long marshes. Then we have our Legoland guys down here, which will spawn essentially in this whole area. And then that is it. That is all of the current sub-factions that we have. And so let me go try to catch up. What about the Evil Men in Angmar and Rudour? So I'm always down for more Evil Men, but Rudour had this entire biome. And so, like, I'm trying to give it, like, okay, so what if, like, the Lone Lands was a little more populated and there were evil men? It's like Dunland of the North. That's what I'm trying to go for. We already have Pseudo-Mythor, the Blackrock stuff, kind of, yeah. Love the amount of armor getting added, too. Yes, I'm very excited about that. And wasn't Arnor fully wiped out? These are micro-factions, okay? So, like, to go ahead, like, as we were talking about, like, becoming, like, the king of, like, Gondor versus, like, Arnor. I know it's very similar. But, like, Gondor, dude, you have to go ahead and get, dude, you have to get Amphalas and Penethkellen and Blackroot Vale and Lemondon and Dolermouth and Lebanon and Pelargir and Lasarnock and then Mului and then Anorian and then Athilian and then Minas Tirith. And you have to go get them with full favor, right? So it's like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of favor. But if you want to go ahead and gain favor with like a Numinas and Fornost, they only spawn in this armor around here. They are like a tribe of dudes. So this is what we call remnant factions. Like, for example, a Region by all rights should also be wiped out. But they are a remnant faction. So like the structures that we plan on adding, like I know most of the stuff is like server side stuff, but like what do I mean by remnant? I mean like their structures are mostly going to be ruins. Like we've talked about this in the past, why did you add these factions? The reason why I added some of these like formerly destroyed factions, like what of the story of Aragorn, but over here? I know it sounds very dumb in a sense because like, oh, you're just taking somebody else's unique story and trying to copy and paste it elsewhere. But like for a Region, what if you wanted to play, hey, I always like a Region from the Second Age and I want to bring them back in the Third Age? How do you go ahead and do that? Well, we gave you a taste of a Region. If you go ahead and build a refurbished city in Osnedhill, maybe that's what motivates us to go ahead and be like, hey, you know what, we're going to go ahead and add in the Region Fortress, and then in your config, you can go ahead and turn it on. Is a Region ruined or not? And that could be something that's entirely player made. A player was like, hey, I conquered and I made this, and that's a change that we've done. Like we have made it to where people have done something so cool that we've added stuff for them. Like the wind dwarves that are coming, like is because of this place right here, Regno. Okay, a dwarven holdout of some renown. Rumor is a great dwarven lord used to rule Middle-earth from here, but surely those are just rumors. It's because the person that lived down here before the Wind Mountains were even a thing won the war 3 times back to back to back. Okay, so I've added an entire faction and a waypoint just to remember that dude. Because that was intense, okay? He made people bend the knee without even fighting. He won the first war because he had more troops than everyone else combined times like 3.5. That was just the first war. And that was also because I was bad at coding and he found loopholes. And I was like, hey, we have to work together. You have to stop doing this. So anyways, what am I talking about here? The factions that should be wiped out, yes. For example, Wayne Riders should be wiped out. Belchoth should be wiped out. Most of Dogador should be wiped out, right? But like, it's just taste to be like, hey, if you want the option, you can do it. It's gonna be an uphill battle, but you can do it. So, beyond that, oh yeah, Rovania is also a microfaction. So let's go to Fordwaith. What is going on in Fordwaith? Let me go grab some more water. Sorry guys, I'm parched over here. Talking for a few hours straight. Oscar, sing them a song. I'm back. Thank you for bearing with me, everyone. So, forward with. So, where to begin? So, first things first, this stuff will stay because technically we're old school Angband used to be, and even though this was added for Valinor, this is gonna stay. Beyond that, originally, the setup was like this, okay? Trying to think of all the factions and all the history of this. So, we had, originally, Forchel Orcs spawning down here, which I think they're going to stay spawning down here. They may lose their biome, because we really don't need them to have their own biome. But for now, I'm kind of okay with it staying. Okay. Then up here we had where the Lesoth would spawn. Once you got past a certain limit up here, that's where the wild Fordwaith men would spawn. And then way over here, we planned for the Ice Elves to spawn. I would prefer the Ice Elves to come all the way down here. It'd make this place a lot cooler, a lot more unique in my opinion. But that is if we do Ice Elves at all. I like the idea of Ice Elves. We shall see. But regardless, what has changed? So, Forcho Orcs still spawn over here. Oh, by the way, Death spawns over here. We're not going to talk about that. We all know we don't go to the Northern Waste. Yeah, I made the biome look nicer, but like it's still Death. Don't fuck with that. So, Ice Elves, I think they're cool, but like some people don't. And I hear a lot of shit from them. So anyways, Lesoth will now spawn down here, which is a little bit lore accurate. We will still have the evil men of Fordwaith, but that is going to spawn. That's going to be changed pretty drastically. Okay. What I'm planning on doing. Okay. I don't know if we're going to take all of these waypoints and leave them right here, but we might take these waypoints and spread them out, but also add more. But let me just go ahead and give you an example of what we're going to try to do. Okay. This might be a little weird. So, we have, I'm just going to go ahead and make some like paint splotches for like what factions are like relatively close, okay? Red for Forchel, light blue for Lesoth, that's kind of hard to see. Dark blue for Lesoth. Then down here we got, you know, like Erebor's like right here, right? We got Logathrim down here. We got kind of like, you know, we could say Iron Hills right here, right? We got Procheville over here, and we kind of have Orocarni right here. Okay. What other factions do we have? Okay. Well, we have Unaligned, which is always friends, and we have Bandit, which is always enemies. Something that I thought would be cool. Okay. Whether it be tied to waypoints or tied to quote-unquote secret locations, but like if you were to stumble, like, okay, there's going to be igloos and Fordwaith if you find anything at all. But imagine if you found, just follow me here conceptually, not in actual look, just conceptually, okay, an entire Gondorian city. I'm talking about like just right here. Like when you zoom in, you can't even tell where you are. Right here, right? Like right here. And you go there, and because if we go scroll down, this is technically speaking closest to the Iron Hills. Because you are friends with the Iron Hills, they are friends with you and they don't attack you. But because you found the village down here, and we go down here, they're aligned with the Logathrim, and your enemies with the Logathrim, they're enemies against you. So what am I talking about here? I am talking about a group of people, the Fordwaith men. And when I say men, I mean men, women, non-binaries, everyone. Okay, I just mean as a human kind of thing, right? A faction, if you will. But as you go through, okay, for the blue, this is where their camp is, around this waypoint. So if you're friends with blue, you're friends with them. But red, theirs isn't even a waypoint. Theirs is in the mountains over here. Okay? And also, it doesn't just have to be a structure. They can just spawn around here as well. Okay? And then for green could be like, you know, right. They fight against Autumno right on the edge, right? They're like, hey, we learned from the dwarves. The dwarves saved our grandsire, you know, our grandpappy, and we will always fight for them, right? And then you have blue. You know, blue is actually, you know, one of the largest tribes, and so I know it's not blue. Hold on. But like they have this entire fucking area, and so like for some reason there's actually a lot of. We might even add like sub-biomes where it's like oases with like hot springs, right? Maybe not even just frozen area, you know. We shall see if I can do that, technically speaking. But point being, all of these areas, because this biome, all I can go ahead and do, okay, is add more snowy variations of this biome, which I could then actually just kind of throw into sub-biomes. But why would you want to come up here? Okay. If I added a faction up here, you just have to go gain alignment with one faction. If they have no faction to fight, then that doesn't make sense. And if you can go ahead and fight and be enemies of the Lasalth over here, but also with enemies of Procheville, there's no faction that stretches this way. That would be like having a faction that stretches from here all the way down here, and now we have to have relations with all these factions. It's untenable, right? So what this would be is like, I don't like, okay, let's put it this way, right? I am providing you right now the ladder, okay? I am not sure on the idea of what's going to make you climb said ladder, okay? If I make all these different factions like these bandits, right? These bandit camps, these Fordwaith men who are like, hey, dude, if you were to go from this waypoint to this waypoint to this waypoint, you might run into friends, allies, enemies, neutral, allies, enemies, mortal enemies. Like, for example, if you go up to this island, it doesn't matter what faction you are friends with. They will kill you. Like, they don't care. These guys are, they hate everyone. You cannot gain alignment with them, okay? And now, Serge, I'll be honest, I kind of went overboard with like how many tribes there could be, but like that's because I'm kind of looking at them at a very high level. But if we go back to like looking at this, oh yeah, it's still a giant, massive biome with fucking nothing. Like it'll take you hours to go ahead and find quote unquote blue faction, right? If I go ahead and give you an area this big, I don't tell you where they are. It could be very, very hard to find them. So for Forward With, what was I thinking? It would be all of these guys would have their own different tribes, their own different lore, okay, whether it's gods they believe in or ideas or whatever. They'd have their own armor, have their own entities. If you run into the orange guys over here because you're not friends with Logartherm, they do not like you. How do you become friends with them? Well, you can still do their quests. They're just Logartherm in disguise. Because I cannot add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 factions up here. I cannot do that for an ice biome. So this is how I'm trying to add. This is how I'm really trying to stretch the faction system. This is not how it was designed. Like, this is the equivalent of cutting with a fork and eating with a knife. Okay, this is not good. I hope you are gonna publish this VOD. I don't know what that means. So. Anyways, if you tell me what that means, I will listen and I will do what you say. God, that sounds so simpy. The video, yeah, well, yeah, to Twitch. What do I do with that? Is it a button? So, while I learn Twitch, what other questions do we have? We already went over Angmar. We already went over Forward With, right? If you did record in the first place. Oh, are you talking about like put this on like YouTube? I'll throw this on our YouTube channel. That'd be kind of good. So a nice little review of like where are we at, where we're trying to go. Why do you have the between mods open? Oh, baby, that's part 3, Serge. That's part 3. So Riksuki, you are spot on, right? If this is the ladder, like quite literally, go ahead and turn your head and imagine first rung, second rung, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, right? What you joined by Team Razor? You joined pretty early on in the stream. Actually no. It says a whole hour difference. Yeah. No, okay. I will do that. I will do that for you. I like it. But, like, why do you want to go to all 9 of them, right? Like, you're talking about this really cool, like, what if, okay, is my, like, I'm going to go ahead and say an idea. This idea is going to be really stupid. This is not the idea we're going to go ahead and go with, okay? But, like, I'm just trying to give you guys, this is my, if I say that we have to go north 5 miles, east 2 miles, and south 9 miles, this is my plan for doing that. I need somebody else to be like, hey, here's a better plan. Why don't we just go southeast this many miles, right? Instead of do all that shit. So anyways, let's pretend there's 9 tribes, okay? And Minecraft has a 3x3 grid, 9 crafting recipe, okay? And you wanted to go ahead and make, since there's so many colors, again, just follow me here, rainbow armor, okay? And the blue tribe had this blue ore, and the red tribe had the red ore, and the green ore, and the black ore, and the, I don't know, pale, gray, blue, orange, red, and purple, right? And you have to go ahead and throw this into a crafting recipe. Crafting table, if you will. And then out of that crafting table, you go get this ingot that you can go forge into this really cool looking armor. That's an example. I do not know. Maybe this is how you get like magic stuff. Right? Like, I do not know. I do not know. We can make it where it's mixing and match, right? One could be magic. One could be rings of power. One could be, hey, orange. You want to know what we have? We just have giant gold veins. You want a cheat code for gold? Yeah, dude. Orange has all of the gold. That's just it. Like, what do you mean? It's like, mine. See what happens. It's like, oh, God. There's no dirt. It's just gold. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Welcome to Orange Tribe, baby. That's what I mean. So, Oscar, are you alive?
I'm here though.
Fair enough. I appreciate you standing by me this entire time, man.
I don't worry about it.
Well, I feel more confident being able to stream when I got my staff team around me. I do not mean that against anyone that left earlier. I mean, Mart was here. Mart really hyped me up because like we did like a 10-minute kind of like call it a dress rehearsal, which is like, you know, he was asking me to catch him up, and I was like, okay, so that's what we're gonna try to do with the stream. I will word vomit at Mart for 10 minutes, so I don't word vomit at you guys. As he said, 2 hours and 18 minutes into word vomiting. Okay, yeah. So, or maybe one of them can have a useful quality of life tool. Yeah, there's a lot. We can mix and match, right? We could make it where all 9 of these so-called tribes that you want to go to have stuff that has nothing to do with each other. One sells the equivalent of like the knowledge how to replace your tires. One sells you just forks, all of the forks, in a world without forks. That kind of shit, okay? The other one just tells you the funniest joke you've ever heard and goes, hey, you can have that joke. I don't care what it is. Whatever we find value in, right? We can even add this as like, hey, post season 4, we've added Red Tribe. And why did we add Red Tribe? Because Red Tribe, it's just like, let's say for example, okay, the server economy has a silver shortage, okay? And like if you go do this quest for Red Tribe, they come up with ice silver, and ice silver, if you go smelt it down, is actually it's 3 silver. And so as you can go ahead and see, it's like, oh, you just made it where like there's a quicker way to go get silver. It's like, yes. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's one of the things we go do. There's many options. What I want Forward Waith to do is like, okay, the hurdle of Forward Waith is it is a desert, okay? The desert in the souths at least have, or in the central area of the world, they at least have like the pyramids, right? But up here, they don't have much. And of course, okay, well, how do we go? We need to go complement that, right? You supplement the emptiness with a complement of like, well, instead of pyramids, springs, hot water springs, right? What are your thoughts on Pac-Man's LOTR world? Okay. Team Razor, you want a deep cut of Pac-Man's world? Do you know where Pac-Man's world comes from? Do you know the lore? Do you want do you want the deep lore of Pac-Man's world? Stuff that he doesn't even know. I made Pac-Man's world like 10 years ago. The original world that he is messing around on now is my world. Okay, so Pac-Man's world, right? Pac-Man's world is just Gen Structures, okay? Gen Structures was made by a guy known as Homo 009, okay? Homo 009 is also the maker of the Game of Thrones mod, okay? Game of Thrones mod is just a massive conversion for the Lord of the Rings mod. It caused quite the controversy in the community, okay, a very long time ago, okay? I'm the one that bought Humo Minecraft a very, very long time ago, okay? And so, with his Gen Structures, the world that he got... Okay, so Pac-Man got his world from Gen Structures and made it better. Objectively better. Pac-Man did a fantastic job. I'm not saying this disparagingly about Pac-Man. I love Pac-Man. Like, we are going to use his world and a lot of his concepts with all credit to him. If there's anything I think goes across the line, I will ask permission. If he doesn't like anything, I will honestly think about just ripping it out and then be like, hey, team, we got to come back together and figure this out. I don't offer that to many people where it's like, hey, I don't give a shit how this impacts us. We're ripping it out and we'll figure it out. Right? He did a great job. I just know the lore behind it, okay? And so, how do I go and improve this? This is a very big claim, okay? His world is from Minecraft Middle-earth, okay? So if you go ahead and type in Slaying Slayer Minecraft Middle-earth 2014, okay? Actually, that didn't work at all. Hold on. That's embarrassing. Hold on. I'll try this. Oh, there it is. Yeah, no, it worked. It worked. It auto-corrected. So if you go look, a server has stolen multiple Minecraft builds without permission. Now you might be like, are you showing us evidence of you being a thief on stream? Yeah, we just follow me here for a second. Just let's go over the evidence, okay? So, title says it all. Look at this post here. That's my alternate account. It's not bad if you know that. Primacraft. Primacraft is our original name. How do I go ahead and prove that?
It's in the name of the game.
Primacraft LOTR. Okay, watch. Hi. See? Owner. Owner. Okay. This is still mine. from a very, very, very long time ago. Okay? So anyways, I'm really concerned about the donation. Yeah. Anyways, we've changed the donation system. So anyways, if you go look through this. Okay.
When did Discord just get an update? Oh, shit.
I have no idea. I don't even know if I can show this. 10 years ago. Okay. So, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Go look at Pac-Man's World. That build that Pac-Man is using is a Lord of the Rings
This
conversion.
guy.
Right here, same thing. Adoras.
Slaying Slayer.
This is all built in base 1.7. Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's
of the
the
places
honest
that
rest.
Pac-Man uses in a single-player world were ripped from Whomill. Whomill ripped them from an old download that I found a very, 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 very long time ago. He found the same download that I could not find because I forgot that it was a direct link. It was not... They could not find it on Planet Minecraft. I could not find it on Planet Minecraft. Okay, I already talked to these guys. I deleted everything. They were like, hey, these are stolen without permission. I was like, I thought they were on Planet Minecraft. I thought I saw them. They're like, no, dude, we didn't get with permission. I was like, it says it. Like, dude, there's a download link. I added them. They worked. It all worked. Like, what do you mean this isn't your guys' stuff? Like, we would not do that. And I was like, listen to me, I have it. What do you mean you wouldn't do it? We've already done it. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I was like, what are you talking about? You didn't do this. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about something that I already took what you have already done and added it. Like, this is time. Oh, you know what I mean? I was losing it on my own end because, like, from my perspective, I was like, what do you mean you didn't do this? This has already been done, right? But they were like, listen to me, dumbass, right? Why would we're making a painting, right? Why would we sell you parts of our painting? And I was like, oh no. And they're like, well, where's the link? And I go open up Skype and I go try to find the link, right? The link doesn't work anymore. And I'm like, oh no. And so anyways, I showed them. So the reason why they don't murder me, and by the way, I'm in good contacts with even the current owners because they're different than the owners I talked to back in the day, is because I tell them when their stuff gets stolen. I go ahead and be like, hey, just so you know, I found this download. It's got your stuff. I'm letting you know. And they're like, why are you messaging me? I'm like, I'm the OG, bitch. I'm the OG. Like, I'm the original. I'm the firstborn. Okay. So, anyways.
I'm no OG thief.
Oh, dude. Like, that's the thing. Like, in the community, like Oscar, I'm not trying to blow smoke up my own ass, but like, it's a lot of funny when people are like, when did you get in the community? And I'm like, I was here before the Lord of the Rings mod. I've been doing Lord of the Rings before there was a Lord of the Rings mod. Mevins came after us. Like, there's a non-zero chance that Mevins... Like, let's put it this way. There was 2 Lord of the Rings servers going on. Minecraft Middle-earth and us. Okay? It was old. And obviously Minecraft Middle-earth had a way better name than Primacraft. LOTR. Okay? And so anyways, Mevins either came to their server or our server. And then added our stuff. Okay? And like, for example, Dorwinian comes from us, our server at the time, our LOTR server. The ore update with all those ores, because I deobfuscated. I got the mod. I was the original person to go ahead and get the mod working, like outside of Mevin's control. And I showed him, I was like, hey man, I figured out how to do this. Other people are going to figure out how to do this. You're going to need to figure out how you're going to deal with this. I suggested to him way back in the day, I was like, you need to figure out some sort of licensing, which is like, hey, I will give you access to work on my stuff, but you have to send me the assets or the code if you find out anything new, or something like give me $20 a month, right? I think even $20 a month would be too much. I think like just $50 a year, right? Or just one-time fee of $50, right? I'd pay Mevin. First of all, I'd pay Mevins $1,000 or more. I'm Jesus Christ. We're on such a tangent right now. I'm the single largest donator to Mevins because every year I give him money as a donation because we use his mod. That's not something he and I ever agreed on. He explicitly told me I was not allowed to do this. I do not care what he wants because I knew that he was going to fuck off and disappear 4 years ago. And when people go ahead and ask me, like, how did you know that? And I was like, here's the messages when I knew that he was going to fuck off. The entire reason why we have the source code is because I knew Mevins was going to disappear. And so people were like, where's he been for 2 years? I was like, I knew he was going to disappear 2 years before that. Like, the writing was on the wall. You guys don't know how to anticipate. You guys don't know how you don't want to win. And because you do not want to win, you fail. That is the most callous and douchebag way I can put it, but it's also the best way I can put it. So the long story short, what do I think about Pac-Man's world? I love Pac-Man. Pac-Man did the exact polar opposite, the antithesis of what we did. Ours is take the war, take the people, fight each other out, go do strategy, go do this. Everything could change. There's dynamics, there's places you'll never explore, there's this, there's that. But he was like, no. I'm going to take all that energy, all that care, all that passion, and I'm just going to give you the story that I fell in love with as a kid. And that's what Pac-Man did. And he continues to do it. He still has updates. So if everyone doesn't know, if you go into Technic right now, if you go look up, how many Technics can I goddamn load? Okay? If you go look up War of the Ring MC single player, you will see Pac-Man's world in our mod. We have 3 packs. The heavy pack and the light pack and the pack I made because Pac-Man shit is so good, we need a copy of it. And by the way, the runs and copies you see is because this used to be a different pack. This is not, I don't even think this is, we don't advertise this, so I have no idea where these runs are coming from. So anyways, long story short, I really support what he's doing. I warned him about MCME. If you go look in the Discord, I kind of came in there warning people like, hey, yeah, but the single player I'm talking about first of all, it's somewhat up to date, but it doesn't have a lot of the stuff I was talking about as like the fealty stuff, like, how do you gain favor? That is all server stuff. That will be server stuff. Probably, dude, I cannot make that stuff single player. I don't know how. That's the best way I can answer that question. Like, let's put it this way. Like, you're trying to, like, hey, can you go ahead and make a road out of cement? And I'm like, brother, I know how to make roads out of cobblestone. What the fuck is cement? Like, straight up. Like, I do not get what cement is. You want me to make something out of it? I do not know. I don't know how. Like, anyways. That's my own shortcomings. I'm confident enough in my own shortcomings, and I'm confident enough in like what I know to tell you that I could not go make our multiplayer into a single player. I can give you pseudo single player, which is I can instantiate servers for you, and I know I talked about price before, but like, hey man, you report like $5, I'll load up a server for you. I'll give you 8 gigs of RAM. I don't give a damn. Like, I'll make sure it works. You report a bug. Server shut down, messing me at 2 o'clock. I'll turn it back up. You help me find 5 bugs? Jesus. Like, you know what I mean? Are you on the team? Yeah, if you're on the team, I'm on your team too, At least you make it not crash on single player, remove the online only features for single player or instant service. Yes, that's coming. That'll be in the next update. We've talked it out. Once this new server is out, I will go ahead and remove that. Mevins, like, the entire reason I did not do that is because Mevins, like, I told him, I was like, hey, I will make it to where nobody else can run it. And then he gave me a thumbs up. I took that. I was like, that's permission, bitch. That's affirmation. I'll take that to court. Thumbs up? Yes. That's affirmation. That's confirmation. We have a contract. So anyways. But he's been gone for 2 years. His contract's off. Okay. So, like, yeah, you guys will have a single player. You guys will have your own service. I don't care if our competition takes it and runs with it. I don't care. Just have as much fun. We've all worked. This team has worked hard enough on it for 4 goddamn years. Fuck. And I mean this as nice as I can. Fuck whatever Memphis wants. He's been gone long enough. He was not here for the creation of this. He does not get to have say on this. If he wants to sue me, he can sue me. That's totally fine. But like, the rules are off, man. If he wanted to go ahead and, I'm being very emotional about like what I'm trying to explain, but like, I care a lot about this project. I've rallied a group of people around me that care a lot about this project. A lot of people think this is the sunken cost fallacy, right? Which is like, oh, you spent so much time, you have to finish this, right? I have to finish this because I have rampant ADHD. Like, holy shit. Like, also, I really have a lot of fun learning a lot about this, but, like, it's nothing to do with Mevins. It's nothing to do about, restricting other people's way of playing. It was trying to do this how I could do it in the most honorable way that I could rationalize, which is, at the end of the day, what we all do. Okay? Nobody goes ahead and thinks what they do is evil. People go ahead and just be like, I'm doing this because I think it's the right thing to do, right? And so, anyways, my rationalization was like, okay, I will go ahead and take his code. I know how to do it. And I will, as I told him, I'm making this mod for me and my team. I don't care about other people. I'm not trying to replace you. I'm not trying to finish the mod. Nobody knows who Caravalli is. Nobody knows who Procheville is. It's for us. It only means something to us. It's non-canon, non-lore. We just want to do it. I will make it where nobody else can run it. And now he's been gone long enough to where it's like, if he doesn't care, then I don't care. You know what I mean? So if he ever comes back, we for sure won't resume work on the mod. Or he won't resume. Yeah, well, no, he won't. Not in Legacy. Oh, I mean, he said that he would give me the source code once he was done with Renewed. And then he fucked off. And I was like, I called that. Anyways, hold on. It was right at the door. I'll be right back.
Nine rings were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power.
Oh, my microphone's not on. Hello. Am I back? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hi. So, today, everyone, we have gone over a lot of things. I have not done a good job at showcasing where we are at. I have not done a good job on the server side of things. I have not done a good job. Open that door and I cannot breathe. Oh, Team Razor, trust me, I suck. I just haven't seen it yet. So I appreciate the compliment, but like, trust me, I'm just a normal ass person. I'm what you'd call a 4 out of 10. Okay, I don't mean that like fuck physical features.
Why
shit.
are you doing that to yourself, man?
Huh?
Why are you doing that to yourself, man?
Oh, I'm very honest about myself, dude. I'm hyper confrontational and very aggressive. Like I am, I start shit. I start shit real hardcore. I just understand who I am. I first of all, I also have a lot of confidence. I'm not trying to be very down in the dumps. I'm just okay. Want the honest truth? He just said you're really cool, and I'm in a position of power, and my default is no gods, no kings. Like, hi.
Will I take that compliment, or will I?
No. I will say this. One of the I'm still bad. I've not even begun working on this. My old boss was like, "You are not good at taking compliments." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, Anthony, you have come to me identifying a problem, telling me how we're going to fix that problem, fixing that problem, telling me how the problem was fixed, talking with the QA team, quality assurance or quality engineers team, about how they go ahead and confirm that it's fixed. And then in the email, you go ahead and tell the team that, hey, this issue, how it's fixed. You'll go ahead and say it wasn't really you, it was 3 other people who helped. And you'll go ahead and name people who did the equivalent of like, hey, give you directions. And I was like, yeah, but they helped. He was like, yeah, but like, take the win. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, just when you win, take the win. And so like, it's still something that hasn't really stuck for me. And so anyways, when somebody goes ahead and compliments me, again, Oscar, I'm in a position of power. No gods, no kings. I am just a normal dude. So anyways, yeah. Sorry, not trying to really kill the vibe, guys. I appreciate the compliment. I do. That is not lost on me. I think I'm cool. Fuck me, dude. I'm thinking great. Don't get me wrong. Whose voice do I like hearing the most? Me. Here's how I know this. Have you heard me breathe?
Fuck.
Have you heard me breathe? I've been talking this entire goddamn time. I'm not breathed. Not a breathed. Okay? I fucking love my voice. Okay? But
That's why you go take a phone when you get a phone call. That's you taking a breath.
Yeah, that's me going just for like 16 fucking seconds. Oh my god, that'd be fucking hilarious. Just hearing it like sounds like a goddamn mating call. Like, what is happening in that house, Mom? It's like an elephant is dying. Anyways, that was awesome. All right, so will other people eventually be able to host their own servers? Yes. People will be able to host their own servers, all types, dedicated, single player, LAN, don't care, all of it. We will remove all security measures. I don't care. That'll be coming in whatever the season 4 release update. I don't know if it's going to be whatever, pre-season 4 updates, but it will be in the season 4. We got speech banks in, we got structures in when the mod is good to go. And the one cool thing I've not talked about a lot, but I've been messing around with like ChatGPT. I might pay a professional company. I'm going to save up some money. Like once we get this like really done, okay, I will go ahead and like pay a professional company like, hey, translate this. And they'll be like, what to? And I'll be like, all of it. Like, how many languages can you do? How much is it going to cost me to do it? I will ChatGPT it, but like, oh, this is a nice timing search. As soon as I said I would ChatGPT it, I just saw ChatGPT 4.0 is amazing. I'm sure it will be. Maybe we can do it for cheap, but like whatever we do, okay. We'll first of all, Riksuki, I'm not trying to ignore you. Hold on, we'll come back to the ChatGPT thing in a second, but hold on. So, will the new continents have new factions, tools, armors, ores, trees? Yes. As far as trees, if any of you ever message me a tree or a plant you want to see in the world, I will add it to the world. That simple. I don't care. That simple. You want to see it, like for example, we jacaranda trees. They spawn. They're not. They spawn. They grow in only Jamaica. But like the biome that I want to throw them in is Sagicarin, right? So Serge, you called this Sakura, but I renamed it. If you really want it to be Sakura, it can be Sakura, which is fine. But I thought you were going for a Japan vibe. That is what Tyobu is. So anyways, the reason why I changed it to Sagicarin is because you take the SA off of this, and if you add a DI to this, that Jacaranda is a type of tree. And so I was like, I have no knowledge to go off of. I'm trying to change something Serge went off of. And so Serge, I know I'm telling you on stream, I was going to message you or talk to you about this next time we talk about, hey, what's the update with the Darklands? What are we doing? I was going to tell you the exact same thing. I named it half or majority of this tree name because these are where these trees are going to spawn. Dark oak wood, right? Or like maybe like take the jungle wood but make it darker, okay? And then lavender leaves. Now, the sky and the fog and the grass are going to have to kind of match. But like, I'm pretty excited about what could be down here with these trees. And so like, it could be very cherry forest, but what if a cherry forest was like 100 foot tall? You know what I mean? That's the kind of vibe I was thinking. But like, if you're like the Slayer, that is not what I was going for at all. I remind you, this continent is mainly yours. You tell me what you would like, and I go, we can do that. Or I say, we have to change that. But anyways, so new factions, yes. New tools will derive from new ores and factions, yes. New armor, of course. New ores, absolutely. New tree types, absolutely. New animals, absolutely. Nice idea. Yes, to go for a Japan vibe. Well, it's like it can be a Japan themed biome, but like that place wouldn't have those like unless the people have a Japan themed name that matches the rest of everything. Okay, they're not going to name a place after their language. They're going to name a place after what is in there. And if we call these the Sakajaranda trees, if we stick with that name, the reason I chose Sakajaran is because D in this language of these people could simply mean like of. So like, or like tree, right? Like, so like sa could be like of, right? And so it's like, okay, if the Jacaranda tree is a tree, Sakajaran could be like place of this tree. Like, it's that simple, right? That's all my thought went into it, okay? Because, like, the Japan vibe, we can match that in feel and aesthetic, but we cannot match that in etymology. Even though, let me remind you, 11 seconds ago, I just walked you through my made-up rationale for a language, okay? There's no etymology here. I'm just trying to say, if we're doing Japan stuff, this is the Japan biome. Like, this is that. By the way, it's not me trying to do a Japan impression. That was just me being like, hey, this is... 'Tis the place where we are sticking that. Like, obviously, if there's subcultures of Japan, what I would like to do is diversify this biome rather than add an ascending or descending latitudinally, latitudinally, I don't know the word, that for a biome. It just doesn't make sense, right? So it is. I will stop harping on you. I don't mean to be harping on you. DM me pictures of that, Riksuki. I will add that because I have to go figure out how it looks. Like when you so when you think of that tree, the question I have for you is if you could send me a picture. You have my permission to DM me, add me as a friend, but like, just don't, no hesitation. Guys, we are building something greater than some of our parts. Do not hold yourself back from being political. Or like, oh, I don't know if I should do that. I'm telling you to do it. Just do it. Like, please, I'm telling you. You have our permission. Send me, when you think of the bark of that tree, send me a picture of what that looks like to you. Okay? Send me pictures of what those leaves look like to you. And finally, if you were to go outside, close your eyes. If you were to go outside and you were to look out and you lived in the forest of those trees, what would that tree look like? And try to send me that tree. I will try to do my best, but you do have to remember Minecraft does not do good tree generation. There's some mods that do better, but like we will try our best. So, anyways, I'm down to add them. I don't know what biome we add them to. Maybe that becomes a Sunlands biome, right? We'll add trees down here. Very unique trees. We have a lot of trees. We could always do for more. Because all that means, right? If we add a new tree, you guys don't see what that like truly means. What that means, like, hey, that's a new type of like color that we could do for someone's build. You know what I mean? Like if we want someone to go ahead and build like a really cool looking fortress, I always like if I go ahead and look at a place that has like, for example, if they're in Paralia and they have like Gondor stone, I overlook the fact it's Gondor stone. I go, that's a cool looking build, right? You're trying to go for a white looking brick area. I don't even care it's Gondor. I know what you're going for. I see the painting for what it is, right? And so like every time we add a tree, that for us is another way that we can be like, okay, what color tree are we missing, right? And like, Slayer, what the hell does that mean? What are you talking about, right? Basically imagine blocks of colors. Perfect. There's no better way I could have said that. Nicely done. Not as faction specific. Could be both. We could literally do. I think bricks are faction specific, and then trees are biome specific. If a biome had a different colored tree per biome, what would they be, right? So beyond that, also other animals. So we can go ahead and play this game. Try to think of an animal that you don't think we've added to the game. We'll see if we haven't. So yeah, other than that, we have plants, and then other than that, we have like food and crops. Now, before we had this whole thing to where like certain plants would only grow in certain biomes during certain seasons, but that is not going well. So we might make that where like that affects a district. So like if you go make a vegetable farm, it might be like, hey, the vegetable farm that you chose at these district is oranges. The oranges that you're growing are in Gondor. This means that for the next 2 weeks, they're going to have a 30% bonus. But then they're going to suck ass. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. Your voice is really pleasant to listen to. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that compliment. See, I can accept that one because I cannot attribute that to anyone else. Like, that one is on me. Nicely done, Riksuki. You pierced the armor. But thank you for the compliment nonetheless. There's going to be so much dialogue to generate. Yes, I've tried to do it, and it is interesting. But, like, so when we're going back to translations, when I worked at GM, General Motors, car company in America, it was really important to me to make sure that we had good translations, because we could only do 2 languages. They were like, you can do 2. And I was like, okay. It was also their business standard to only do French and Spanish. And so I made it to where, like, every single pop-up when you were on the website, and this was a website for vehicle order management, which was like, what did our team do at General Motors? We ordered and managed all of the vehicles that existed in data form. Like, what was the 2022 Hummer? It is a set of rules that exists in the specs engine, which is a custom-coded engine made in a custom language that tells you, can I make this car? Does this car have 3 wheels? That is all I can say without possibly getting sued. But beyond that, translating the languages and doing it accurately is important to me, because people need to understand what they're doing. And it was more important to me in a job space, because, like, every single time you go ahead and tell someone, or don't, like, every time you go ahead and not give someone the opportunity to succeed, they fail. Okay, they get closer to failing. They don't fail, they get closer to failing. And so when someone's trying to do their job, and, like, imagine if you're getting this error code and it's written in broken English, you'd be like, what is this trying to say? What is this trying to say? You know what I mean? Obviously, it might be different, it might be cooler, it might be louder, it might be angrier, it might be chill, might be losing your brain. I will lose my shit. I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, I will lose my shit. I lose my shit. And so I imagine every time that I see an error code that doesn't make sense to me, I imagine if I was on day 1 and I was someone with an anger problem, how would I interpret this message? Okay? It is setting the bar real low, but, like, if I go ahead and do that, only way is up, right? And so, for example, when I said Team Razor, you said what I was trying to say with no fat on it. That was not me trying to be disparaging towards anyone's body weight. I mean, like, if you go ahead and think about, like a piece of meat, like a steak, right? You literally were you said what I said, but there was no fat on that meat. That was just meat. Like, that was the only words that needed to be said. I added all the sugar, okay? And we didn't need that sugar. And so, like, when you're trying to make translations, if we are going to go embark on doing these translations, I am okay with using bulk tools. However, I still want to engage people who are like, hey, I'm not the first person you message on the internet who understands German. I'm the person that you had a conversation with because I speak English decently well to hold conversationally, but I've also played the Lord of the Rings mod. I know what you're talking about. I can help you do this. I want to help you do this. I'm down to be paid if I help you do this, which I'm, like I said, in my position I would be, and I will. But, like, we will do both, right? We will go ahead. There's terminology. There's not terminology. There's a phrasing code, which is, like, you know, the first 80% of work takes 20% of the effort, and the last 20% of the work always takes 80% of the effort. Because if you think about it, man, like, it's really to go ahead and, like for example, you know, it's really easy to go ahead and figure out where these 9 tribes are going to go ahead and spawn. But, like, when we get down to it, what are we going to make all of their daggers out of? Is it bone? Is it seal bone? I don't know, right? That's the last 20%. It's because you're getting into it, right? You're not starting at the 10,000 foot. You're now, you know, Watch. You're trying to figure out like, okay, you can go ahead and like look, close one eye and look at this, and you can barely make sense of it. It's so tiny. You can understand this looking at 2% of your eyeball if you look at this with one eye closed. Okay, but as you go drill down, we're now 10% done. It gets bigger, kind of hard to see. 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%. 80%, and now you're one eye trying to understand all of this, trying to scroll through all this with only one eye, right? It becomes a lot harder to understand because all of this has been built. The last 20% takes 80% of effort, so you're just trying to figure out, where are you at? What am I trying to do? And so, all the stuff that we are adding, I'm very excited to add. And so, a lot of it is in. I'm down to go ahead and showcase some of the animals if you guys guessed. I'm behind on chat. Let me catch up on chat. Sorry. Okay, so I'm down to add the tree. Blocks of colors. Yes. Are there beavers? Let's go ahead. I will go. Okay, so hold on. So, okay. Okay. What are primal points? What can it be used for? Primal points are like store currency. But hold on. According to Epicness, coding new trees is annoying. Yes, but he does not know Java that well. I don't say it disparagingly, but like he's trying to do a pretty hard thing to do. Like he's like, hey, you know Chopin? Like, yeah. Like, you know I'm a day 2 piano learner? I'm like, yeah. Can I go ahead and learn Chopin? It's like, okay, sure, we'll try. Like, it's not gonna be fun. We'll try, but sure. You know what a chord is? Like, it's gonna get wild over here in the streets. So anyways, he's doing really well, to be very fair and courteous to him. But like, we're not at the stage that he knows enough to where I can type to him what he should do next. We are still in the stage, and again, not say the Epicness. If you're hearing this in the future, dude, this is normal to where you're at, okay? But like, you need to see it visually, and you need to hear, and you need to be able to ask me questions, right? We're still holding hands, okay? Like we're trying to cross the street, and we are still like, I'll be honest with you, I'm still picking you up and carrying you across the street. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even understand the concept of how much danger you are on the street, right? Like, you don't understand some of the concepts of where you're at. I know I'm speaking to you in front of other people, and you're not here. This weird fucking pseudo conversation we're having. But if you were to hear this, I don't want you to think I'm being disparaging. I'm talking to you as a person. You're doing a great job. Anyways, hi. Thank you for being a part of that. This should have been a DM. But anyways, I don't want people ever feel like I'm shit talking behind their back. Anyways, if you guys ever want to learn to code, it's fun. It's just, you have to understand, it's hard. You just have to tell yourself, yes, it's hard, but I can get through it. And when I get through it, I will understand more, and I'll be able to do more and conquer more and succeed more, and it's going to be awesome. So, start at the top. Do we have Komodo dragons? Legless lizards. I don't know what a legless lizard is. Like a snake? I don't know. One thing I love to see is a new mouthful creature for new continents. Ooh, I do like that. Okay. Do we have Komodo dragons? Yes. Komodo dragons comes from Mo Creatures. Komodo dragon. We should have bigger versions too. Get out of the... Yeah, let them go. What you doing, Komodo dragon? See? Okay. Komodo dragon. Do we have ducks? We are actually going to have more variation of duck. We have duck, and this should be angry duck. Ooh, yes. Okay, so we have ducks. We will have, I think, like 2 different skins of ducks, depending on where they spawn in the world. Always then add more different types of ducks, like black ducks for, this biome, or, I don't even know. I'm not a duck doctor. I don't know what kind of duck spawn. But this is an angry duck, so if I go like this. Yeah, this duck will attack me. Do you see that? What a dick. So anyways, ducks. Okay, beavers. We have multiple types of beavers. We have brown beaver. We have gray beaver. We have cherry beaver. We have blonde beaver. We have oak beaver. We have midnight beaver. Midnight beaver. Look at them go. Oak beaver, blonde beaver, cherry beaver, gray beaver, brown beaver. And they have different biomes to spawn in. And they have different meats. So like if we go ahead and type in beaver, they have... So this is from an old stream. Why do we add this? So like we have a hunting plugin that we kind of have, and we will be expanding upon it in season 4. This will be like you'll be able to turn in. It's like, hey, you need to turn in beaver meat, and it'll be like, hey, if you have like 2 of this brown beaver, and 1 of this black beaver, and 5 of this blonde beaver, and it goes, hey, you need 8 beaver. It will take all 8 of those and be like, hey, quest level 1, thumbs up, nicely done. Here's 10 coins, right? But if you need like a level 2, it'll be like, no, I need 5 brown beaver, right? I need 6 cherry beaver, right? What's level 3? I need 10 cooked oak beaver, right? So anyways, we have a lot of animals. Yeah, your voice is nice. Your accent is crisp. I can understand everything. Your mic quality is crisp and well spoken. You have put your ideas to us. That's really cool to hear. Thank you very much, Team Razor. I think I swear too much. Something I'm working on. I think I'm swearing a lot less in this stream, but I still gotta stop dropping the F-bombs. If there's a little kid listens to this on their phone and their mom hears it, and they get in trouble, and I'll never hear it. Could you spawn in the Australian tiger wolf? Do you mean the Bushlands devil? And also, just for the record, get out of here, beavers. Okay. Capybaras. Do we have capybaras? Nope. Do we have porcupines? Yes, we should have 2. We should have the porcupano. And we should have the gigante porcupano. Hello, porcupano. And we have gigante porcupine. I have no language. I have no idea what language I'm speaking. I'm just being dumb. But anyways, yeah, this one is supposed to be a boss. We'll talk about what he has later. I'm gonna give you a hint. He has I'm not even gonna ruin it for you. The reason why there's 2. Okay. Ready for Gorilla Island. What type of gorilla? Because we have male gorilla, we have male silverback gorilla, we have female gorilla, and we have female silverback gorilla. So we have male gorilla. How's it going, buddy? Dude, those beavers are the worst. So I'm learning about the volume settings, so you might notice the gorillas are a lot quieter than the beavers. Okay, so then we have do you mean tamarin? Tamarins? So we have 2. Tamarin, maybe not tamarin. Let him go. Wolverine, Mo Creatures open source. Yes, I'm pretty sure it does. No, not the bush level. It's not extinct species of wolf that serves tigers. Do you mean maned wolf? I think. Okay, no, because I think they're still alive. So this is okay. So that's custom coded right there. Okay. Then we have Alex Mobs right here. I asked them. Now I need to go talk to them again because they said we were allowed to use their textures and whatnot for like non-public stuff. And so what this means is like we're in development, right? So we're okay with using them, but if we were to do a public release, I think we're gonna have to go remake the texture, which again means talk to an artist and be like, hey, we'll give you X amount of money for a commission, right? It takes time, effort, money, right? But like, if they say no, we're not releasing the shit. So yes, Tasmanian tigers. Yeah, so this Bushland Devil is supposed to be. The reason why I didn't choose Tasmania is because look, it's a Tasmanian Devil. Now it doesn't look like it. I think we need a better version. But like, this is a version that exists. that for now is our Tasmanian devil. And then game is really loud. I can barely hear you. Oh, sorry about that. All right. So, did you guys hear anything or not? Like, not really. Okay. Well, if I was saying something and you were like, well, wait, can you say what you're saying again? Because I didn't hear you. That's fine. Let me know. So yeah, we have a lot of other animals. If you guys, we can look at that another time. Because I want to get to part 3 of this, and I would like to take a break. So. By the way, I like streaming. I apologize that I don't do it more often, but again, I'm the only person that can code. So if I'm sitting here streaming a game, it's like I should be working. That's literally what goes through my mind. Like if you guys see me on Halo, I will sit on Halo for 6 hours to argue with myself for 4 hours to go play one match, to go argue with myself for another hour, to go play one match, to argue with myself for 30 minutes, to go play one match, and then leave it on for another 20 minutes, and then look at it and go, nah, I'm done, and turn it off. So if you guys see me in games, like somebody messaged me the other day, like I sat with you in that match for 10 minutes, you didn't say anything. I was like, oh yeah, dude, I bet you that game was on all day. I bet you I didn't close out of it. I bet you I didn't even play a single match. I loaded it up just to give myself the false belief that I would play. But then every time I try to play it, I was like, I can go fix this. I can go fix that. I'm addicted to this shit. I have a lot of fun doing this shit. This is a fun time. Creating stuff, being able to go ahead and create, I don't know, an entire existence is pretty awesome. And I'm very, very, very lucky that I have a team that surrounds me that gives me the ability to do this, and I got a community that kind of likes seeing this stuff, and we work all together, and it's pretty fantastic. So I would like to move on to part 3, because today we have gone over what's coming to you guys client side, and that is just a taste. And yes, there was a lot. We said a lot of words, but you didn't even see them in action. Guys, you are going, there already exists right now, just with how much stuff we've added, that like there's a faction that like you will go the next 4 years and never see them spawn. But now there'll be places like you can choose to be a Region, and if you don't explore a Region enough, you might never see armor and entities and ores and stuff that exist there. And for everyone that's played this, played Lord of the Rings since the dawn of time, every biome is getting a nice touch. Like some of those beavers are now going to be in the Shire. What if there's a new ore that only exists in the Tower Hills? Right? Like what if, Numenor, instead of having Mithril, has something else? Right? We have a lot coming, and it's been a fantastic pleasure of mine to go ahead and explain it to you. And the staff team was in here earlier, and unfortunately I think this was too much to have them on. I feel like what we should do is have them on next thing, and I don't even show you guys anything new. It's just, hey, let's just rehash the last stream. Like, hey, for anyone that watched last stream, for any questions you have, we're just gonna re-review what we went over. We're not gonna go over it all again, right? We're not gonna spend 3 hours on it, but like, hey, an hour in, you talked about doing this with districts. I thought about this district. Could we add the tannery? It adds the animal meat that you were talking about earlier. It's like, yes, fantastic, I like it. You know what I mean? Or not tannery, but like butchery, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? And so maybe we do that, not next week, because again, I'll be out of town, but 2 weeks from now, right? We go ahead and just Q&A, right? So I would like to go ahead and pivot. And when I mean pivot, I mean pivot. Okay? We as a community play a lot of different games, but there's one game we all kind of gravitate to. Now, I have a universe that when people first look at it might go, nah, it's not really appealing to me. But if we go ahead and expand on it even just a little bit, I think people might start seeing the diamond in the sand for what we have in front of us. Okay? And what am I talking about? The Minecraft experience I would like to show you guys is a 1.7 modded experience that I've already started a server on. You guys can technically, as soon as we're going through it, just ask me for the link. It's a Technic pack. You can download the Technic pack. I send you the IP address. You can join it, play with me. Straight up. I proof of concept this all week. Okay. I found this thing I'm about to show you guys on Monday, and like for 2 days there was this one mod that wouldn't load in server. And like server form instead of like client form, and I had to recode the entire goddamn server just to add 2 lines of code. 2 lines of code, literally side only client, something like that. I don't know exactly it, but like that essentially tells it what it was trying to do is play a sound. Mobile phones is my background messing with the faction relations command. Yes. Hamster, update it. Yes. The faction relations. What does fact relations do? That's one where you can just change relations. Yes, but like, so search. I don't know if you know this, but like something we've added is like if you go type in rebel, so it's just gonna be normal. It's like give me a faction search if you can. So, see these Gondor soldiers, right? But down here we have these red ones. Okay. Technically, when you spawn these red ones in, they are aligned to the bandit faction. The bandit faction will attack all factions, including Autumno and Horns. Okay. But then also using the summon command and faction blocks and how we do sieges, we can actually spawn in these Gondor guys with whatever faction we want. Boom. So Risuki, you just said, you sent over some stuff that's very, very cool. If you do, just think about, cool things you like to see in Minecraft farm. You know what I mean? Like, I think this tree would be cool. Oh, what about this animal, right? Like hippos, that'd be cool, right? Let's add hippos. How hard is that, So, beyond that, with these troop surge, what you should be able to do is like we're gonna go ahead and add this, like a little bit of a sneak peek, right? But like we don't have a lot of structures in the mod, okay? But what would be cool? Yeah, we don't have hippos. I know. I thought about it the other day. We have water buffaloes, but we don't have hippos. I was like, we're clearly missing hippos. No, we have hippos. We just haven't animated them. We have the model. I have to go add hippos. Please add. Hey, you know that DM that you sent me over? Can you please be like, hey, add the hippos that you have? Like, watch. I bet you if I type in hippo, we actually. Nope, never mind. We don't have it. We have the model. It's not animated. So when they spawn in, they just glide around. So anyways, message me like you just did. Just be like, hey, add those hippos. So beyond that. Yeah, anything you can add, just let me know. But with these bandits, Surge, what you should be able to do, and like what we're gonna try to do, is like add in like these different tents. In these tents, you might stumble on a Gondor camp, and you're like, oh, it's Gondor. They're bandits dressed in Gondor armor, right? Now we might not make them look exactly like Gondor. Like we might give you a hint of like, hey, they don't have a shield, right? Why am I looking at a Gondor dude who doesn't have a shield, right? Doesn't have a shield, but also has a bronze helmet. Or like has a bronze sword, and you're like, uh-oh, right? Or maybe he's wearing all leather besides a Gondor chestplate and a Gondor spear, And this could be for like most factions. Now, elves and hobbits most likely wouldn't have bandits, right? Technically, we can spawn them in as that, but like we just might not lore spawn them in, right? Unless somebody on server B is like, I'm the hobbit dark side, you know what I mean? And like now we have to make evil hobbits like that are autumnal aligned. So anyways, real quick, before I go ahead and show you guys this, I would like to go ahead and do 2 things. One, I would like to run an ad I've not ran any ads this month, and I would like to see what one ad gets me. I'm not trying to make money off of you guys. I'm literally just trying to get analytics. I'm very bad at this. If you guys wouldn't mind. It's also going to go ahead and buy me time to go ahead and try to coalesce my thoughts, because we have to do a massive pivot. Like, I'm about to go ahead and show you something, and like, Hamster, you know what it is, but like, for the rest of you guys, it is just like, what if we all had a game that we could all play, and like, we could all individually, if we all work together, it's not a server, it's not a Minecraft server that you experience, it's a game that we all play and make together, to all play and make together. Okay, and that sounds really weird, but like, we'd make copies so that way, like, oh, what if one of us turns evil, like destroys it for everyone? Yeah, we just load up a copy, right? But it's not a server. Ostriches, you silly bitch. We have ostriches, ostriches. By the way, that when I called you silly bitch, that was an endearing silly bitch. I did not mean it in any negative connotation. Regardless, I probably shouldn't have called you that. Apologies, Riksuki. We have both. You can't possibly spread yourself across another project. I don't have to spread myself across another project. That's the beauty of the next project I'm going to show you. I will not be doing most of it, because most of it's been done. And when I show you, I think you're going to see. I made a proof of concept in about 4 seconds that I'm going to show you guys here, okay? But this is where, like, and please remind me when I come back after the ad. Please remind me. Like, what I'm about to show you, you're going to hear me about 10 minutes when I get to it. Be like, oh, that's why you wanted to get Kid Summers. Message me to go get Kid Summers for this part of the stream, okay? I messaged Kid Summers before this, being like, I need to show you something. If you are free, I will message you like, hey, this is when to watch my stream, or I will download it and send it to you and send you the timestamp, okay? Because the first 2 hours, 3 hours we've been doing this, she does not care about Lord of the Rings, which is totally fair. What I'm about to show you guys, there's 200, okay? So we can go ahead and like make it to where like just it's little quests and little raids and little dungeons, and like it's Pac-Man's world that we were talking about earlier with Lord of the Rings, but like the dots are there, but the connections between them are not there, and that's what makes it very cool. Like, imagine if in Lord of the Rings, okay, you couldn't go get Mithril, but you had to go ahead and get all the Oh, Triton. Oh, you mean an anteater? Hold on, ADHD in action. Yeah, I'll message Scorch. Two different kinds of anteater. One is a boss. I'll give you a hint which one. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna go run to the bathroom. And so again, what I'm about to show you, I need to go get the people who like think about like Airglass. You have some perspective on this, right? Think about like all the people who've done great quests, right? The World Scar and the Fractured Pit and all these raids. But like think about them in an entirely different kind of like setting. But like one where again, what I'm trying to aim at, okay, in a perfect world, if I could code extra, and it's kind of like a hidden in disguise thing that I kind of can't code this because like, it's a Forge server, not a Cauldron server. Cauldron allows me to do like the autumnal stuff where I can count like millions of things, okay? Forge servers, I can't kind of do that. But like what I'm trying to do is think about a mix of Lethal Company, okay, and Helldivers 2, where it's like you need to go ahead and get things very Minecraft-esque, where it's like, okay, if I couldn't go get Mithril ore, okay, or like if I couldn't go get like a Mithril sword, I would have to go get the Mithril ore. But if I can't mine, how do I go get Mithril ore? Well, do you have to go to this certain place to go complete the quest, to go do the thing, to get the ore. And you go bring the ore to the guy, and the guy smelts it down into the sword, right? Which is all, especially during your time, old school NPC quest team, right? NPC/quest team, right? Which is nothing of what I do. So this project I'm showing you it's kind of a blessing in disguise that I can't do the quote unquote coding side of thing, which always turns it into a massive thing of like, oh, we gotta get favor, new factions, blah 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 blah. The work is done, and like this could be something where people can go ahead and take this off in bite-sized pieces. Like this could be something like looking at this massive existence. It's way too much to bear, even if you were to go ahead and be like, no, just take on Narroth, right? But Narroth right here doesn't exist in a vacuum. It has all this context around it. What does this color mean? Mordor Mountains? What does other color mean? Mordor? What does this mean? What is all of this, right? But like, what I'm about to show you, when I mean bite-sized piece, I think it actually does mean bite-sized piece. Am I incorrect? We shall see. Please tell me if I am incorrect, because I also am trying to I'm going to say sell this. I'm not trying to sell this monetarily. I'm trying to sell this as an idea, because like, again, if we go add 1, 2, 3, 4 quote unquote quests to this Minecraft mod, okay, it could just be a place where, like, again, if you guys are like, oh, like, we've all been there, right? Hey, do you have this game? Yeah, I got that game, but I don't have that downloaded. What about person C? It's like, oh, I got that game and it's downloaded. It's like, okay, well, hey, how long is it going to take you to download? Oh, shit, hours? Okay, we won't do that. What about this game, right? Those kind of nights. We all have Minecraft, right? So this is that game that, like, we can make for free, not to make money, just so we have a fallback game. Just as a community. The thing that, like, I don't want to say we all need, right? Because we don't need it. Just fucking Minecraft, Legos, just video game Legos. Who cares, right? But like, it could be a thing where it's like, Airglass, you throw in your dungeon. Surge, you throw in your dungeon. Riksuki, you're like, I want to throw in my dungeon, right? Team Razor, you just joined the chat. You throw in your dungeon, right? But like, what is the context of this dungeon I'm talking about? Let me go to the bathroom. I will go run this ad. You can skip it. You can close out. If anyone that's like, hey, if you throw an ad at me, I'm leaving. I don't mean it personally. please be nice. I just want to get analytics. And for anyone that is watching, I do hope you have a great night. I do hope you guys enjoyed what we're talking about today. If you have any ideas, whether in the middle of the night or later, send them to me. I will try to remember to send this vlog out. If I don't, not to sound like a child, but someone please remind me. And then beyond that, thank you for watching. I'm really excited about what we got. I hope today was like, in the past, I've shown you all these things that we have and blah, 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 blah. Today, I was really restricted. We went to 2 biomes and everything else was just talking, okay? I know you might be like, oh, well, isn't that evidence to the contrary? Where you're like, well, you clearly don't have anything done, right? But like, when I asked you guys to throw out animals, we missed, what, 2 capybaras? Right, but we didn't have the Tamarindu, but because I didn't know the name, right? We also don't have Tasmanian tiger. We're looking at the picture of Tasmanian tiger. Yeah, it's not really a Tasmanian tiger. It's more like a Wolverine, like you said, Team Razor. But point being was this stream, instead of going ahead and tell you all the things we do not have done, I wanted to show you where we are at, okay? I wanted to show you the map. I didn't teleport to place of the map because the map isn't fully done. Yes, I could teleport this place and the biomes would be there, but next time I want you to see Tyobu. I want you to see it with the work that Epicness has put in with the trees. I want you to see the work that Valray has put into the bricks. I want you to see the work that Dryden has put into the structures. Okay, the next time you see these biomes on my screen, unless they're the really unique ones, it's like, hey, look at this, right? Like the Badlands, for example, would be a good example, right? Down in the Darklands. It will be like, you won't know what biome you're looking at, okay? We are done with the age of, like, promises. It will be just deliveries. Like, that's what I want to get to. That's the best way I can put it. Anyways, yeah, we get it. I hope you guys will have enough work done to be able to push this update out at the time you guys planned. Yeah, well, planned is the opportune word. Finally, Structures, I'm so excited. I am too, Airglass. The reason why Structures for a lot is taking so long is just, we didn't even have animals to go make food, right? And the one thing I'm really excited about is, like, Airglass, we have talked about this. We have names for the NPCs. We have their dialogue, so they will go ahead and talk about things they can craft, okay? And one thing I want to go ahead and correlate, once I get it all added, I can go, like, make pseudocode, which would be like, hey, print this out if this, right? But like, I can go ahead and say, hey, for the Wain Riders, for the biome of Pallisaur, Give me two things. One, give me all the factions that spawn here. Not like spawn here, not like conquest spawn here. Like, for example, Wayne Riders. The faction should spawn here. Two, give me all of the trees, the ores, and the animals that spawn here. And then I can go ahead and correlate that data to go ahead and make dialogue for the Wayne Riders here. Like, hey, have you ever seen the four-legged behemoth known as the Kine of Ara? If you hunt that down, I hear it's a good source of meat. Right? Or they may, like, south of our lands, in Nurad lies this vibrant blue metal. Some call it cobalt, right? Obviously, we'd, put a little more immersion on that, a little bit. But, like, that's what I'm trying to get at, right? To where, like, so before there are structures, Aragorn, structures are the crown of immersion, okay? Not like, I don't mean like the crown, like, obviously you could do more, right? But, like, what I mean is, like, that is our end goal. That is how we can go ahead and sit down and be like, we have succeeded. But before we get there, we have to finish. These are the trees that spawn in the biome, so that I know how to go ahead and add these drops to the chest of when I kill the Wayne Rider guy. But not only the chest of when I kill the Wayne Rider guy, but in the chest of the house that he just spawned at, that spawns in the biome that he is supposed to spawn at, that correlates with all these data points. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have the data point web, and we are just now getting that, and that's how, like, these structures, they're gonna be so good. They're gonna be so good. Like, I figured out how to do some other stuff, Aragorn, but, like, again, it will be show, not tell. So we'll go over that stream in the future. Beyond that, every new update in the Progress Season 4, the more excited I get for the new systems that are going to be implemented. Yeah, that's one of the big things, like, for the server side of this stuff, the biggest goal is no more grinding to lose your fucking mind. Pardon my French, but there's no other way to put what I put you guys through. Like, that's what I did. And then it will be, this version, in a lot of senses, I'm sure I will miss them. People will have to go ahead and clarify, enlighten me to them, rather. Pay to win should be gone. Okay? Like, when we were talking about these districts being upgraded, like we discussed, you will not have a way to break how time works. Okay? Like, if it says it will take 24 hours to make a citizen, and every 24 hours you get 5 XP, and at 50 XP you level up to where now it takes 23 hours to get a citizen, it doesn't matter how much renown you buy in the store, how many primal points you have in the store. It doesn't matter if you can call them, you don't want to be disparaging or call it pejorative, but like you want to use whale, right? Somebody goes ahead and spends $1,000, they're not going to be able to make 24 hours pass sooner. Okay? So that's what we're trying to get to. Okay? Let's awful grinding to win and no pay to win. I can play the game again. Yeah, so Airglass, you're going to want to rewatch the stream because, like, think of districts as like the pals from Pal World. Right? Like, think about like Airglass. Throw us out a few of the things that you never even grinded for because you're like, I hate this. Like, I hate this. So, did pay to win only exist on the server because the dev team needed money? Yes. that's it. If we had an investor, I wouldn't even have a store. I'd have a store for like double XP, right? To have some, residual income where it's like, hey, are you gonna buy something that legitimately helps everyone? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that and put your name on the wall. You know what I mean? If I could do that, I would do that, and we're gonna get to that point anyways. But like, all of Season 3's war systems, yes. Oh yeah, so like district upgrade tools are out. We've already talked about it. You're gonna need to rewatch this stream. But like, for example, Airglass, think of like all the stuff like, Prima Forge and ring materials and like wizard stuff. All this stuff, if you go ahead and rule, okay, all these different waypoints, you might set Carinota up here to go ahead and get you as many good sticks as possible. So if you go ahead and log off for 4 days, you come back to Carinota, it now just gives you 106 good sticks. But like over at Kafthak Unaz, you were like vegetable farm, and you're like carrots, right? You come back on, you just after 6 days, it's 500 carrots, right? So anyways. Yeah, I do need to use the restroom. I'm gonna go do that. So anyways, beyond that, lads and ladies, everyone, I'm very excited. But the thing is, no gods, no kings. You heard me talk about this. If you rewatch the VOD, hold me to this. Now, if I do change my mind, the best thing you can do is ask me, well, what made you change your mind? So I can go ahead and describe to you guys, hey, what I was thinking was stupid. I was not thinking about this, right? Like we're talking about, I just said this very, 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 very grandiose statement of like, this system should be, I didn't say exactly, but immune from pay to win. Oh, we'll see. Because, like, if one of you breaks it, then I have to go redesign it, right? And so one of these streams, if it's not this next one should just be Q&A over this one, right? Hey, give everyone 2 weeks to go watch this and go sit down and be like, hey, you said this, but lady, you said this. Which one is it, right? Hold me to the fire if you want to. But, like, it's just let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Well, Eric Glass, if it's explodable, yes, but like you have to tell me. You have to tell me immediately. You know what I mean? So like, but like I also have to go and communicate. Hey, this is the day that we're talking about this, right? So not only you can be there, but Serge can be there, and Rick Sue can be there, and Team Razor can be there, and everyone else who isn't here can be there, right? I don't care if it's the only stream that ever breaks 50 people, but if it's the stream about not being paid to win. Shit, I will advertise. Just be like, hey, are you a former War of the Ring player? No? Fuck off. Like, are you, I don't want new ones. I do not want new players. I just want old players. Here's like, think of it like a scientific paper. Here's my scientific paper on the theory of season 4. Call it gravity, if you will. Peer review my ass. You know what I mean? Hold me to the fire, right? Like, does this make sense? Yes or no, right? Like, that's what I need. Because that's what it has to be. Eric Glass, like, talk about season 3, man. You make a joke about it, like, oh, I can finally play it again, but like, dude, jokes be jokes, right? But like, it's not good that shit was paid to win and unfun. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not good. Oh, and like, again, Eric Glass, I just said I was gonna run to the bathroom, but like, Eric Glass, again, if you really want to rewatch this VOD, when I'm talking about districts, anyone else in the chat, please correct me if I can't, but does it not sound like you will be able to go ahead and win? And I changed the metrics of what winning means, right? Like, Air Glass, if you choose a faction, I will tell you what is your goal for, like, how do I win the war? Season 4, how do I win? Day 1, tell me what to do, right? But, like, beyond that, single-player kingdoms will exist. And that will be the basis. That will be the baseline. It will be better if you have more people helping you. But helping you is going to look a lot different. There's going to be an AI component. There's going to be a favorite component. We've talked about some RPG components. All that good stuff. All the items, armors, weapons, balance at all. Hell no. And with that, I'm throwing in this ad. Surge might be the person to ask about that. I would say no, because I am not good at PvP. And there's certain things that are like, oh, it makes sticks, but it's better than dwarf? Cool. You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, I would say with what I know about the current state of balance, there is no state of balance. That's coming from the owner. Here we go with the ad. I'll be back.
Gandalf, my old friend. This will be a night to remember.
Okay. Man, oh man. CK Wizardbot 14 followed me 59 minutes ago. My bad, man. My bad. Thank you for the follow. Whew. I just sneezed like 14 times back to back. I can't feel my face. My nose almost came flying off. Guys, I almost died. Oh my gosh. My doctor told me after I got an allergy test, I was like 17. Straight up, this other conversation went. Clear as day, I remember it. Home phone rings. Okay, for those who don't know what a home phone is, imagine a cell phone for the entire house. Most people had it on the wall. Ours was on a desk. It was wireless. Okay, because it was 2008. Okay. That was way before I was 18. Anyways, doctor calls. I answered him, okay. They're like, oh, is this Anthony? I'm like, yes. We have your allergy reports. I was like, oh, her results. I was like, oh. What am I allergic to? And they go, you know trees with bark? And I was like, yeah. Yeah, you're allergic to all trees with bark. And I was like, wait, don't all trees have bark? Most of them. Most trees have bark. Yep. And I go, anything else? She goes, yeah, you're going to want to come in. And so anyways, that's the day I found out that I'm allergic to this goddamn planet. So, when I say that when I'm a tunnel person, I just give me a computer to throw me in a tunnel. Just put me down there. Okay? I'm allergic to all trees with bark. Okay, a real ass human person, okay, told me that. Guys, I'm not paraphrasing how they told me that. It's a real conversation. Anyways, welcome back. That's how we go ahead and bring you guys back, because we're talking about Lord of the Rings. Now, you're going to talk about a pivot, but like that pivot was about to warm you up to the pivot I'm about to experience you to. Now, Airglass, to go ahead and end this off, I should bring this full circle. Airglass, I have the ridiculous Dutch urge to colonize the Darklands. Chat, for anyone that was here since the beginning, is that not what I just said? Like, not what I just said. Time, that's not how time works for you guys. So, like, when Airglass says that, okay, earlier, I mentioned that the pro players, if you will, who've played the server a lot, are kind of bored with all of this, okay? But if I give them a place to conquer they've never been to, lands untouched, a place that's just big enough to go, I could conquer that. And then, right? Now, it doesn't matter what happens. All you have to, I could do X, and then, like, I could take all these lands, and then, you know what I mean? So, anyways, that's half the reason we added it. Otherwise, just to be cool. So, beyond that, lads and ladies, it has been a great time talking to you guys about Lord of the Rings. We're going to go ahead and pivot. This pivot is available for you guys to join me. If you, yesterday we had somebody go ahead and destroy, destroy part of the world, and they expected me to freak out. We have 1,000 copies of the world. You can destroy it. I do not care. So, with that, Lord of the Rings music comes off because that just doesn't match at all. Beyond that, oh. Okay, here we go. It's really quiet without that music. I know that music was only at 2%, but like that is... I have tinnitus, so all I hear is like a ringing in my head right now. And it is just unbearable. So anyways, my bitching aside, welcome to Jurassic Park. Now, that's actually not what I wanted to do. Help, I'm stuck on the funny spider planet. I have no idea what the hell a Zucatan is, but luckily, that does not concern us. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear stuff. It's about as good as it's gonna look. Alright, so. Oh, wait. 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 Go back. No. Never mind. Okay. So this is actually a good premise of what we're talking about, okay? So, what I'm about to talk to you about. I am trying to convince you guys of a whole different game idea, okay? This costs no one anything. We're not trying to make money off this. We're not trying to get public with this. We're not going to advertise it. This is for us, by us, for us, by us, okay? Let me go message Scorch. If you are able, we are finally talking about the thing. We could even VC, but, well, they're streaming. I don't want to take over the stream. Alright, hold on. But since you are streaming, I can post the VOD. I sincerely want your opinion and hopeful input. It is, sorry, I know you guys are like, why is this person so obsessed with messaging this other person? I have the benefit of seeing people go ahead and create something and understand the time and effort that they put into it in a way that most people won't. And I really, 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 really appreciate people who do that. And I'm not trying to use this person to go ahead and like do that again for me. I am just trying to be like, hey, I saw you make magic. I saw you make cement out of a sandcastle. Do you want to see if you can do it again? And this is the painting. This is the canvas that I want to present. Here's the part. Here's the paper. Here's the paintbrushes. They're different this time. Well, stress, no work times, blah, 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 right? But, like, for us, by us. Okay? Now, it's going to sound stupid, but I respect people. Trigger warning. Guns and gun sounds. Now, I am putting guns and gun sounds on here because this is what the pack came with. This is kind of the theme that we were going with. However, you do not have to use guns if you are against guns. Now, this is not against anyone in the chat. This is for people who are young. This is people from other countries. This is, again for people who just don't like loud sounds, straight up. This is not the end-all, be-all. This is the proof of concept. That's the point I'm trying to make, okay? So the theme is set like early 2000s, like literally 1998 to 2008. Okay, that's a time period of what I'm about to show you. So that is why there's guns. However, it doesn't mean we couldn't take this, change the so-called cone of paint, and make